here we are.
So, again, thank you for joining us. Here we have Saint Darren, Pat Gonzalez, Purple Gaming, what's up? Yes, let's
Purple.
go Cowboys, bye or no bye week. Again, unfortunately, things are not going our way in the general football world sense because the Redskins are currently winning and the Eagles won.
Yeah, the Eagles pulled it out in London, an away game for both teams, but it should have been only an away game for the Eagles. They got a break.
So, and yeah, Saying, we're definitely going to talk about Jason Garrett's, surprise appearance at that game yesterday. So
Spoonie Dog, what's up? Yeah, we're going to talk about everything.
Was it yesterday or the day before?
I think it was, I don't know. I think it was yesterday.
I'm pretty sure it was yesterday, guys. But again, Spoonie Dog, what's up? So
we're just having Cam Newton has got a touchdown. And then it looks like they sealed the win there against the Baltimore Ravens. So Carolina, a team we lost to, a team we want them to lose against an AFC team like Baltimore.
Instead, they're looking like they're going to finish this week 5-2, which
that's not good for us. If we end up in a tie, we lose tiebreaker. As you guys know that already. We knew that from last year, and we knew these games might cost us when we lose them to teams like Seattle, who's currently winning right now.
But, we have
teams
to win
like
5
Carolina.
games first.
Oh, yeah, I agree. We're 3.
Oh, I know.
They got 5, we got 3, not that far behind. So, what's up, everybody? Make sure you guys don't forget, hit the like button for this stream. Helps us out tremendously. It's recommended. You can share it, recommend it, but it's also recommended when you guys hit a lot of likes, a lot of traffic. So we appreciate that. Hitting the like, hitting the subscribe button. That's the best way of helping the channel keep growing the family. My Cowboys family, and we respect people, fans from all teams as long as you stay true to your team. You jump ship, you're off of here. You're out of here. So, but much love to the weekly donation leaderboard guys up there.
Yes,
but before them, the weekly winner, guys, Scorpio, thank you. Amari Cooper, thank you. Amari Cooper, who is also the stream boss right now, but he's also Cowboys Abroad.
Currently rocking it out at number 1.
Yes.
For our
leaderboard
for the current week.
And second place, right behind him,
Scorpio, who is again the donation weekly winner from last week. So big extra special shout out
Scorpio.
to all you guys and to all the people up on their leaderboard, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, got Art. Go to Buy Our Fashions. Got Young Wilson, Pappy45, DCFN, and a whole bunch of other guys. I think we got Rand in there,
exactly.
tied for 6. We got Issa. We got a whole bunch of people.
And by the way, guys,
Thank you,
speaking of DCFN, go sub it up to the whole
down below.
crew.
Yes.
Links are in the description. You got Dallas Cowboy Football News, 5th Quarter Cowboys DJ, Crown J Space Cowboy 17, and Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980. Guys, go.
And my Cowboys family, that's
subscribe.
5 is greater than 1.
Go do it. Yes.
Remember
what's up, Pat? Let me see. Buddy Johnson, what's up, man?
What's
He
up,
said,
game
Mom,
day?
When we need the Giants and Jags to win, they don't.
They fail us
Exactly.
again,
So
right?
Daniel Mesa, what's up?
Giant game's not over.
So here,
Still
let me go
going.
ahead and-
The Giants had a chance. I have some buddies that are at this game right now, the Bears and Jets game. In Chicago, they went out. They live in the area here where we're at, but they went and flew out there for this game. Both their teams are playing,
And
the Bears just boom, blow it up for the Jets. Again, another team we prefer them to lose against an AFC team.
I know AFC's big.
Bye week's not a good week. We're falling behind, half a game behind all the teams right now in the NFC. Keep that in mind. For whether it be for wild card, which was a pipe dream right now, or the division, which is the hurtful part. Eagles are now 4-4, and we're 3-4, so we're a half game behind them. Even though we have tiebreaker, doesn't make a difference. And it doesn't matter tiebreakers. We got to play them twice. Exactly. That's the tiebreaker. So we get the Eagles. They're a half game in front of us. If the Redskins hold on to win, they're what? They're got what? 5 wins now? Is that what they are? 5-2?
Something like that. So Spoonie Dog said, let's get to it. I'd mentioned before the season started, maybe Collins should be moved back to guard. Mr. MCF disagreed. Your thoughts now.
So, all right. So,
I guess
Spoonie
I'll
Dog,
give my thoughts real quick, just because we really liked the way that he was playing at right tackle. I still don't think that the problem is necessarily Collins. I think it's more, him trying, first it was him trying to figure the position out. Then it's him trying to change up everything he just learned through new coaching styles. So
let's get to it.
So to me, I think it's more the coaching style that's held back Collins. But at the end of the day, the Cowboys,
whether
I think they should move him or not, the Cowboys invested too much into him at right tackle to just scrap it all and say, let's move him back.
Let me go take it from there, take the baton there and say, what about the fact that, we complain about, we switch around the players too much. We complain about we got this guy, let's leave him in the same spot. And we finally have La'el Collins looking good last year. We switched offensive line coaches from Kevin Pollak to Paul Alexander, which, again, has a different kind of scheme. There was a power run scheme when it came to the running game Fumble by Detroit. Damn.
And, I think
Seattle got it.
Oh,
I don't know who got it. Either way, Seattle's up by 14 with 7 minutes to go, and it looks like they might have recovered a fumble at midfield. Either way, back to what I was saying with the question by Spoony Dog.
Yeah, said Paul Alexander screwed up our O-line.
And that's the thing. I don't want to just say it I feel that. But I don't want to just jump on it because we're not really 100% sure what the issues are, but run power, the power run game by Pollock, which is the majority of the time we ran. Paul Alexander can run both, but he favors the zone block scheme. And so this is more in the running game than it is the passing game. Now, supposedly, I did read in the beginning of the year that there was some issues that changed in the passing scheme as well. So it's obvious that a new coach, new things in the passing game. Someone like La'el Collins is not set there. He's still learning it. He's learning the ropes. He started when we started.
Yeah.
Here at My Cowboys Family, almost the same exact day. July last year, he was basically going to be put at the right tackle. And he was doing a great job. Now, Pollock might have failed with Chaz Green. That's why he's out of here. But at least it looked good with La'el Collins, at least last year.
Yeah, so let me toss this to you. Is La'el Collins our offensive Byron Jones in the sense of we got him at one position, left guard. He was playing well there. The Cowboys decided to move him.
After injury.
Never quite finds his footing again. Is Spoony Dog saying that to see La'el Collins shine the way he really needs to, the Cowboys should move him back to left guard. That even with the time and the investment and the whatever, he will naturally shine.
Well, again, and that's the thing is that if the Cowboys pull the trigger on something like that,
and a drop,
it's knocked down by Ward by the Browns. Staying in the game against Pittsburgh. It's 26-12 Pittsburgh over Cleveland right now at 9:39. They're punting.
Yeah, Switzer made a huge
mistake. Ryan Switzer, guys. Oh my goodness! If you saw what he did. That would tell you okay, at least we don't have him. You'd be happy at that moment. He let after a safe. The Steelers got a safety, so then there's a free punt, as you guys know, and most NFL people have been watching NFL for 10 years or more should know this rule. And when you punt the ball from a safety, it's like a kickoff, but it's a punt, not a kickoff. It's a punt. But it's a kickoff rules. It's a live ball. Switzer let it bounce like a punt and figured when they touch it is where it stays. It's a kickoff rule. So the kickoff it's a live ball. If you remember, I don't know if you guys were way back in the 90s, when there was the San Francisco 49ers. I think it was Garrison Hurst. I don't know who it was, but he let the ball bounce. It was when they first changed the rule because it used to be when it hits the end zone, it was dead. It hit out of the end zone and rolled in. And I think the Jets or someone recovered in the end zone. It was like the longest onside kick in history because he forgot, and the rule had changed recently. Yeah. He didn't realize that it was still a live ball on a kickoff, and that was just pure kickoff. It was a mind fart there.
Yeah.
But Switzer, as an NFL player now, after these rules been in place for years, for 20 years, for 2 decades, this man these rules were in there probably before he was born. Mm-hmm. He should know this already. Right? That's a Switzer mistake. That's two in 2 years.
Shout out to Black Wall Street. What's up? Yes,
What's up?
America's team. So St. Burns said sit Connor. Julian Smith said, I believe the Chicago Bears will be 10-6 or 11-5. They're definitely headed that way.
Again, the Jets aren't that great, though. Let's be real.
Forever DC said, I'm curious if the feeling is he needs to or has been told to keep his eye on Williams. Rookie to his right and no Fred. Is he taking his eyes off his job? Things happen in a split second on the offensive line.
Who are you talking about? Tyron Smith?
Is it affecting his game? I think Forever DC, I'm guessing you mean... Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing, yeah. So I'm guessing Tyron Smith, yeah. I'm guessing it's Tyron Smith.
Williams.
Tyron Smith is feeling the pressure to kind of keep his eye on Connor Williams.
He probably is, but I see a breakdown on both sides of this, though. You're seeing it with the right side, and he's got Zach Martez left. And there's still a breakdown going down on the line there. Now, yeah, I think Paul Alexander might be some truth to the fact that he's partially the reason why our offensive line is kind of course, you got to throw in there Travis Frederick. That's a huge dent. But yeah, but there's something going on with whether it be communication, and I know Zach Martin's making the calls because we saw it against the Redskins, yelling across. I hope Tyron Smith can hear it. If half that stadium was filled with Cowboy fans, it shouldn't have been an issue with
the sound.
Right, so I'm thinking. It's more fundamental, not foundational, but it is more fundamental when it comes to techniques, and that goes to coaching. I'm assuming, not all of it. Now, some of it, Tyron Smith has fallen off. Maybe that's true. Maybe La'el Collins needs better coaching. Literally needs better. Guys like this need to be coached to that spot, that are getting put into a new spot. And last year, he was just doing fantastic, evolving. And all of a sudden, he's regressing. He's regressed to a point where we were thinking about putting him at guard, putting Cam Fleming, who didn't look very good at all, at tackle. in the preseason at that tackle spot. All right, maybe.
And Mike's
but maybe there's Connor Williams who can.
podcast.
Connor Williams can play tackle too. That was his college position. So there's a lot of things we could do. But anytime you do something like this, what does happen is it means you're telling your coaching staff you're getting fired. Like Linehan but he was overruled by Linehan by Garrett because Jerry Jones basically said and Stephen Jones basically said, Linehan, you're fired when they got Amari Cooper. So, but yeah,
what's up, Octavius? So, I mean, as far as Amari Cooper, again, we have him on the team. He's working out with Dak right now. No real updates until we see him take the field. I mean, now, as far as Obi, I see a few of you guys in there asking about Obi. No updates on him either.
The good thing is he was not signed by the Patriots.
He wasn't signed by the Patriots.
Not
sounds
yet.
Like you know whether I think they did make him some kind of offer though, right? Or at least that's again we don't know if they made it with the Patriots.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're not sure if the Patriots.
We don't know if the Cowboys made an offer.
Well, I get the fact that he left saying that he's the one weighing his possibility.
Options.
I'm sorry, but if the player's the one weighing his options, that means the team offered him something. So not sure what the word is as far as him out of the Patriots, but yes, definitely has high hopes that he can contribute if he ends up signing with us, and would be really hopeful if he ends up signing with us. But still a little frustrated that it took getting to this point for the Cowboys to admit that they needed safety help that they could have easily gotten in the preseason.
And even Obi's not the answer.
No, not the answer. But again, it just
Golden, say what a move.
If the Cowboys weren't going to find an answer, if their answer was Jeff Heath and Kayvon Frazier, then fine. But at least put in someone else in there that can do a little more than some of the guys you've already brought in. Tyree Robinson, it's like,
No, we'll see about Obi if he gets on the team. But guys, I do want to say, hitting that like, subscribing, all that stuff is great. Follow us on Twitter. Jumping in Discord, we might go to that. Today's based on an elongated halftime. And it is what? Oh my God, you see that? We're watching the Detroit Lions and Seattle Seahawks game right now. It was knocked up in the air 3 times.
Their quarterbacks somehow
Detroit got the ball back, and now they're about to score. There's under 4 minutes. They're down by 2 touchdowns, but they're about to score here. Almost got picked. Almost got a touchdown. I don't even know. It's knocked up in the 3 guys had a chance here. 1, 2.
Oh, no, just great defense.
No, look.
Oh, wow.
It got knocked back up in the air.
So, again, great defense twice. Because, look, Seattle knocked it in the air once.
Watch where it
goes. Hits it in the air twice.
And it hit the guy in the face.
Well, no, but it hit the Seattle guy in the face.
Yeah, but they could have been intercepted. That's what I'm saying. It was almost intercepted, touchdown, and intercepted again in one play. It's been some crazy stuff going on today, guys. We are watching the game.
All the good stuff's happening, too. Again, Seattle.
Again, I know we're rooting for your team, but we'd rather see their Stafford running in. That's not your guy?
Yeah, it is. He could have ran in for a touchdown there.
Almost.
But
Juju.
no, it's more the fact that all these other teams seem to be having luck and success.
Daniel Carlo Brigante. I know they love some Jeff Heath. Jeff Heath's definitely been getting better, I got to say. Since our first videos last year, he's been on our list of guys got to improve, and he's been slowly interception on the goal on the 1 yard line.
Don't I lose points?
You lose points.
Wonderful.
You lose 2 points.
Thank you.
For that.
Jamal Willis said, I forgot whose tweet it was. Connor Williams is like 21 years old. I can definitely have patience with him.
Yes.
He'll get NFL
Rookie as well.
Yeah, that's why, again, the difficult part, we knew going into this season, even with Travis Frederick there, that it was going to be a problem with Connor Williams because as great and amazing as he is, he's still a rookie.
Fitzpatrick.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, Fitzpatrick is in for Jameis Winston. Touchdown, Bucks. Making it 34. They're down 34-25. But Bengals are up 34-25 over the Bucks.
What do you do if you're the Bucks?
Crazy play.
Like, what do you do if you're the Bucks when it comes to your quarterback situation?
I'd
say you cut your losses with both and just find yourself a new one.
No. They have to. They got to get rid of it.
Jameis Winston is not your guy, and neither is Fitzpatrick, obviously. So you got to.
We're hoping that you don't have the. I was gonna say we can jump to the Giant game because I definitely want to see what's going on there. Man, after we said about Sammy Watkins, he's having a huge ass game today. Except for the Chiefs. Mahomes is 26 passes. I think 26 touchdown passes already. Only week 8. He snuck it in there, so it's 26 now. So they're within 8 points of the Bengals. We want the Bengals to win as Cowboys. We want every NFC team to lose. Can't change it, but hey, it's 13-3 right now, guys. Giants are about to get whacked out here. And Odell with the catch, as you guys said. Going across the field for a touch in the red zone. In the red zone. Again, you guys are talking LT in the house.
Woo.
Oh, they got a bye. Eagles get a bye. You know what that means? The next game is this beautiful star in their disgusting green home. That's the game. We were almost going to meet LT. Damn, too bad, man. I really would. That would have been really cool. One day, we're going to have a great time. Our families together, man. LT in the house. Much love to him. As an Eagle fan, that's what I was saying at the beginning of this stream, guys. You could be from any team. We respect you. We don't like your team, but we respect you as a human. That's what it's about, guys. And it goes to all these shootings. It goes back to Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh. Our hearts are there. Condolences to the synagogue and everything. Other people affected by that. That kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's divisive, and it's coming from hate. And that sucks because even though football is naturally like 32 different little gangs, we're all still humans in the end. That's the thing here, you know? So we're all could be different religions, different races, different ethnicities, different ways of thinking, different political backgrounds. It don't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. You're a human and I'm a human. You're a human, right?
Exactly. It just...
Man, woman, and child. Come on, guys. Let's be smarter and better as humans. It doesn't matter what you believe in.
And you
just
know
be
what?
good.
It's
bad. Speaking of bad,
should be a flag,
Eli.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a flag, but Eli just threw it out of bounds. At least Moreau, who for the Redskins wasn't even playing last week, and he's their starter. And Jason Carrot decided to just take it easy. Just hey, let's play for the field goal.
No, forever DC. I think Williams just needs to bulk up a lot. I know that there's already been people saying that during the offseason, just like really expect from this year to next year. Think of it like Taco. Think of where Taco was last year as far as strength. I mean, honestly, not gonna lie, Taco was slipping and sliding and falling all over the place. He couldn't stop a feather from. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, he struggled staying on his feet because he just didn't have the muscle and the weight to stay on his feet. But he bulked up, he worked out, and there's definitely a difference in Taco from last year and this year.
Yeah, and Daniel Mesa. Listen, I know here. I mean, I guess we're the masters of the channel. I guess we can, so we will slip up sometimes and curse. I don't mean to. I usually do it after midnight or so on the East Coast. Try to hold back on it, but sometimes you do slip out.
Yeah, guys, again, the main thing is, look, if you guys
personal attacks.
If you guys are cursing in the chat again, it's
slips
a little
out,
different.
it's okay.
Yeah, the occasional
if it's a personal attack, Kurt, like
not,
we're the ish. That's different. Exactly. But if you're saying you're a piece of ish to another person in the chat, well, no, that's not good. Now Odell.
No, good.
That's not held. That's not Odell. It's Fowler the third. But he was getting held. It looked like no call there by number 37 of the Redskins as we're bearing down here with 4:17 left in the Giant Redskin game. We're hoping the Giants can get in the damn end zone.
I know Taco's not on the offensive line, obviously. I'm saying similar in the sense of the progression and the build and again the expectation. Because Taco went in there as a late first-round pick.
Took time.
Connor went in there as a mid-range second-round pick.
He was initially reported to be maybe a first-rounder.
Exactly. So as far as like caliber or level or whatever you want to say,
third and goal for the Giants. Go ahead. I'm watching this too. Sorry. And oh my God, Saquon Barkley. Look. What do? Do you kick the field goal? You have to.
You don't trust. Honestly, if you have this offense,
you have to kick the field goal.
You don't trust this offense.
You got to get within a touchdown. You have to. 4 minutes, 11 seconds. You have one timeout and 2-minute warning. That's 2 timeouts. That's 2 timeouts basically. I know the Giant fans are pissed.
Well, Octavia said I would have won for it.
And the thing is, if you're the Giants and you are losers, which they are.
Yeah.
I understand why you go for it, but you still want to give your team a chance to win. Now, that is heartbreaking, but you get the ball back, you forget about it. For the portion of the fact that hey, we got a shot. They got the field goal.
But again, for DC, that's kind of my point. Like even before we knew about the whole Travis Frederick and his health problems he was having, we went into it this year knowing we're gonna have a little bit of a deficit at left guard. It was going to be a little harder because sorry, baby. It was gonna be a little harder. Because, we're going into this. Saquon passed to Saquon and he bobbled it and dropped it incomplete. He didn't drop it. It kind of hit his hands.
Nobody was open.
Kind of hit his hands. Hey, it hits your hands, you catch it. I don't care. This is the NFL.
Scores,
but real quick, guys, it looks like it is 34-26. Bengals are beating the Buccaneers. They have about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Seahawks are up 28-14 at the 2-minute warning. Bears are up 24-10, about to be at the 2-minute warning. Yeah, let me see. Panthers are up 33-14 with 4 minutes left. That one's pretty much in the bag. Looks like, this one's not over yet. It's 30-20. The Chiefs are up. So, they still have 4 minutes, 15 seconds left. I don't know how many timeouts, but you definitely still not over there. So...
Sorry.
But yeah, no, again, as far as our offensive line, I think we went into it this year expecting that we were going to struggle there at left guard, just knowing that we were going to have problems there. But we never at all expected. Oh, yeah, sorry, guys, real quick. Pittsburgh's winning 26-12, and they're about to hit the 2-minute warning shortly as well. So
this is really the only game right now, guys.
the only real close game, yeah.
The Bucs,
I guess the Chiefs and the Bucs, yeah.
Still time, the Chiefs. Yeah,
the Chiefs. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so there's 3 games about left, but we care about this game.
Exactly. Well, that's the main one we care about. So, Caballero 152, what's up? So Jason Garrett, yeah. So guys, let's go ahead and talk about Jason Garrett at a baseball game. So Jason Garrett was at a Dodge, obviously one of the World Series game
on his on the bye week, on his time off.
Yes, it is his time off. Yes, it's a bye week. Yes, players are out there. I'm sure clubbing. They're having it. Whatever. Okay, I don't care. But the message it sends out there, the optics, guys, for the Cowboys who care so much about their media presence, their image, and all that, it doesn't look good when you have your head coach just out there having a good old time and on such a public stage. Like, I get it. He's a fan of baseball. He wants to do it.
He is a big fan of baseball.
But again, that's like it's like the equivalent of him going to a Beyonce. Let's use the Beyonce concert. If he went to a Beyonce concert and he had front row seats and tickets or whatever, it makes you feel a certain type of way because he's here having fun at Beyonce. Meanwhile, the team's 3-4.
Okay, now
he's the head coach, so yes, there's a little more accountability there. And again, it's his free time, it's his off time, it's whatever. But it looks bad and it feels bad. That's all.
Jimmy Johnson, all right, former Cowboys coach Jimmy Johnson said this about Jason Garrett attending Game 3, which was, I guess, 2 games ago. So it wasn't yesterday. Okay, Game 3 of the World Series during the team's bye week. He said, quote, "I think it sends the wrong message not only to the fans, but to the players. At 3-4, there's work to be done." So here's the thing about Garrett being there, guys, and a lot of people agree with this for the most part. It's not a breach, okay? It's his off time, the way that Beasley raps and Rico raps and other guys do dumb stuff and other guys help out. And some of those same guys I just mentioned also help out. So when you add it all up, this is not a bad thing, that he's doing this. He's having fun, as he should. He's having a beer with his wife, with his family, with people. But the thing is, you got to be careful. When you're Dak Prescott, you got to be careful what you're doing because you're in the limelight all the time. When you're buying plastic guns.
And you're going through that domestic violence issue and stuff like that.
And you're out there on a boat. And you're on a boat with chicks
and partying, not going to a club.
That looks bad, right?
Be careful.
Same thing. I know people say, well, big deal, right? But no, it's the same thing. Garrett having a beer with his wife at a baseball game, it's the same bad thing as, it's
Peterson
gone. Touchdown.
Oh my God! Go, old man!
Touchdown.
And he's gone.
Touchdown. They just,
it.
I mean,
that's it.
It's not over, but now you need an onside kick. Peterson just whipped up on the Giants single-handedly. There's a flag on the play, though. Could be just.
And forever DC again for this year. It probably would have been the right choice for the Cowboys to maybe consider something else at left guard. But the way I see it, they went all out, they went all in, and they
went on the rookie.
They accepted.
Hoping that Travis Frederick and Tyron Smith were going to be enough to really get this young guy get through this first year, and then the next year he's going to bulk up. We know that. Next year he's going to be a different guy. You're going to see him on the field. You're going to say, who's that? It's going to be Connor Williams, 52.
Exactly.
Next year. But this year we were hoping with Travis Frederick to his right and Tyron Smith on his left, being, and a new coaching, Paul Alexander, offensive line, that would get us, enough of Connor Williams that he'd be very effective, as the other guys that were there in the past, where it was Leary, who was better than all those other guys, but whether it was, Cooper, whether it was even Collins, Lel Collins, and also the other guy, we got Chaz Green even there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At guard. I'm just saying all these things here, all those guys look better when both those guys were at their best and in the game. Now, when you don't have Travis Frederick and Tyron Smith looks like he's 100 years old, you're going to have those kind of issues. And then you're going to have, breakdowns.
Yeah, so Lena Richards, what's up? Octavius Whaley, yeah, it's over. Boomer Sooner said that the Giants are the new generation of Cleveland Browns. So I'll accept that.
They're breaking it
Justin
up.
Corrals, what's up? So Forever DC said, great, then wait until next year. So again, whether they should or not, that's not what the Cowboys have decided to do. That's just the way I see it. So Jamal Willis said he's also the best available to the team.
Ooh.
Doesn't feel good to see him learning, but I think getting the experience is a win from it. So
for sure,
Forever
no matter
DC said, especially now they know Fred may not be back. He isn't NFL ready to be effective. So
not this year.
Yeah, Travis Frederick may not be back this year. As far as never playing again ever, we have heard he's supposed to be tentatively okay, maybe, sort of.
What kind of answer was that, baby? You basically said nothing.
Obviously,
everybody expects him. Everybody expects him to be okay for next year after an offseason, but nobody knows.
And according to him, the last interview he gave, he said he was where he would be at the start of the preseason.
Let's say that, by the way, the flag was a horse collar. But let's say there was no let's say that Travis Frederick is not back next year, okay? Let's say he's done his career. Worst case scenario, right? For his life, for all those things. If that's the case, I think Connor Williams is going to be naturally better next year. Experience, but also experience in a tough situation. Cowboys will be more ready next year with that situation, whether they keep Looney or whatever they do, which I mean, again, but my point is that he'll be ready just naturally, even with Frederick, not Frederick, whatever.
Oh, I have Adrian Peterson, I forgot.
With Frederick, without Frederick, the point is, congrats, is the thing, is that Connor Williams himself as a blocking guard / tackle is going to be better. He's going to be better because of experience he's getting this year as a starter. He's going to get better this year. He's a starter missing his best piece to his right and an unexpected kind of start to the season. Maybe next year in the offseason, the Cowboys might upgrade the center position if they know Travis Frederick's not going to be there. So look for that also. Now Connor Williams is going to be like, this is easy now. On top of that, and I'm not saying anything bad with Looney, and Looney's doing a fantastic job. But on top of everything else, the biggest thing is bulking up and the weights. That's the biggest difference when it comes to Connor Williams this year, next year, and the experience. Both those things are going to really make him an overall better player. And if Travis Frederick can get good with his life, in this situation that he can't help, nobody can help it, and he gets through it first and foremost for himself and his family, and then get back into football, start working out, and then get back into football. Not this year, next year in the offseason, maybe if he can get back. Then you're going to see the best of Connor Williams.
I'm going to say, if we want to win now, fire Linehan, fire Garrett.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong about that. If you want to,
making a joke. Maybe. He's saying his thing is he wants to win now. He doesn't want to win next year. He doesn't want.
If you want to win now, and Jerry Jones also. Now. Jerry Jones failed on one thing. I mean, he did get Amari Cooper, and overall, it is a good thing. But if you expect him to change things, if the coach is going to say the same, you're wrong. If you think Linehan's going to start to I believe it's two choices for Linehan. Either he's going to start to give Cooper the routes that he can do, which he hasn't done before, to Dez, to anybody. If he treats this like Dez Bryant, you're going to see the same crappy kind of offense out there. I don't care how good the line blocks. I don't care how good Dez throws. Cooper's going to be okay. And he's better than that. What's up? And that's the thing. You cannot fire Garrett unless you know the season's over. If the season was over and you give up, you fire Garrett. By getting Amari Cooper, you've actually said the season's very much in it, which is fine. That you should be, but you should have fired, I believe. And if it's not happening now, you might see it in a couple weeks. Linehan might be fired, and Garrett might take over the play calling duties.
It just makes me wonder as well what the Cowboys would have done if our bye week hadn't fell so strategically in the middle of the season. Yeah. If it had been even 2 weeks earlier, the first weeks of the bye week, even 2-3 weeks later. Because at that point, you're again, it's too early in the season. It's too early in the season to go out there and definitively make big moves. And then at that other point, it's too late in the season to go out there and change it and say, we can turn this ship around.
So the game's about to be over here. Giants will get this first down.
As far as Dez coming back, I say no way. If the Cowboys
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, Cowboys wanted
don't want it.
He would have never been cut.
What a catch by, oh my God, Odell. What a catch. But did he get the first? I think he did. Man, what a catch by Odell. Guys. Watch the catch by Odell if you didn't see it.
They're still done.
Look at this.
Yeah.
In traffic.
Wow.
The guy tried to knock it out of his hand. He still couldn't get it out.
And again, Odell, someone said in the chat earlier, I don't remember who exactly, they said Odell's getting paid the big bucks, but they still have Eli as a quarterback.
And that's the thing is if the offensive line doesn't block, how can you judge Dak? If the offensive line blocks and Dak throws inaccurate passes, it's on Dak. But if the coaches are not calling plays that are to his strengths, and he's not the kind of quarterback and he just hit it anywhere off of any foot.
Eli sucks, but if Odell is literally never open and they don't have him running routes that create any kind of separation or opening outside of what he has to do, you know what I mean?
But Manning's kind of throwing bad passes.
But Manning sucks. So that's what I'm just trying to say. Obviously, Odell here is not necessarily the problem. I can't speak for much of the play calling because the play barely gets to go for the Giants.
And right now, everybody knows, 2-minute warning, everybody knows what they're doing, obviously trying to score before the game and then kick the onside kick.
So, I don't know, just my thoughts. Danny Mesa said Redskins could only score 13 points against the Giants.
But yet, against us.
Exactly. Forever DC said Cooper will help the offense and even Zeke, but there must be lanes opened up and they need to keep the D off Dak. So, again, I don't necessarily think that Cooper is as much of the problem as it has been, honestly, Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins. And maybe we just see it more because of the new offensive play style or whatever they're doing offensively. It just makes you know, the outside corners like weaker. I mean, that's where I don't really know more of the technical stuff.
Well,
I just know that with the overall offensive line changes with the zone blocking. I just
we're talking about offensive line coach still?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I just don't think that's worked out. But I see more of the problems on the end than I do in the middle. Because
I agree with you.
Looney and even Williams have been doing all right.
But that's what I'm saying is where the coaching comes into play. You got to start looking at Paul Alexander saying, what's he doing that's not helping La'el Collins? What's he doing that's hurting Tyron Smith? In the situation, we got to use him to his strength. If he can't do certain things, you got to give him help. I don't know, and start looking for another tackle. I see Randis saying, "I'm glad to have you see you finally come around on Cooper." Your initial reaction was not expected at my Cowboys fiance.
I mean, I gotta admit, it was the fiance was the one who had.
I was kind of pissed, but my piss was not with Cooper as a player. My pissedness, my rant was about the way the Cowboys continuously just play to the hands, whether it's the right move or wrong move. It's not what I'm mad about. It's a deeper thing about the way we do things on spur of the moment stuff. And again, as I said in my reaction, I listened to it multiple times, and I was off on some stuff, as I admitted multiple times. But the thing is this: some of the stuff I'm still 100% on. And you guys know it. Because if you're not upset or worried about this trade in some way.
Some of the doubts, some of the
don't remember the old days.
Some of the doubts and the questions are still valid, even though, again, some of the reasonings for why Cooper's on this team are very much valid.
Right.
Do I think the whole no number one wide receiver thing was working? Hell no.
That's Linehan. That's why Linehan's done.
It's not working.
But here's the thing that bothers me about it. Some fans think we're going to win now because of Cooper. Jerry Jones thinks we're going to win now because of Cooper.
We're going to the Super Bowl because Amari Cooper's here.
That's what Michael Irvin said. And if that happens, and he's right somehow, if he's right, which I don't think he's many times been right.
I don't know. I think his comment was more Amari Cooper makes this like a Super Bowl level team. Like you can bring this team to the Super Bowl with Amari Cooper on there.
Well,
but again, that's the thing. If you do all those other right things, because Amari Cooper is just a very important piece, like Zeke and Dak.
You want to know how we win the Super Bowl with Amari Cooper now? If
Amari Cooper running 3 routes, everybody knows.
That's the problem.
That you're not going to the Super Bowl. You're going to end up 8-8.
And the thing is that if you run Cooper and you don't target, if you target Cooper 3 times a game, why do you have him? And that's on the coaches and on Dak. If Dak, they're not creating plays for Cooper, then that's on the coaches. But there's so many levels to this that it has to work before it gets to Cooper's hands. Route running is key with Cooper, guys. When I seen this man run routes, it is unbelievable. All right, he is one of the best I've seen run routes.
He breaks ankles just like making moves.
Press coverage, he gets you. Zone coverage, he gets you. Off-man coverage, he gets you.
Separation, again, just naturally by just running his regular routes, which is why even with the regular boring Linehan routes, you might see him find more success.
But see what he does, he also reads something he does very well, and this is as a rookie, he reads defense as well.
Yes.
He reads the defense and he knows where to go. Does something Dez Bryant never could do. That's just the way even Dez admitted that he could not read the defense. Like he was not a defensive he did not read defense as well as a receiver. So he couldn't really help the quarterback a lot. He just goes deep. If he wasn't sure, it's like three audibles and he knows. So my point is but he's a different kind of player than Cooper. Cooper can do those things and also, know how to fall into the open spot in the zone. I just hope Dak can see that. He has to see it, and they both have to kind of see it together. If they get on the same page, it'd be, he's the kind of dominating big player at receiver that can do that. If you don't drop it.
Sorry, guys. I'm cracking up. Giants fans, so after that last touchdown by Adrian Peterson, they're leaving the stadium, all 20 of them. So, but they're like, I'm just saying, like, the stadium is a ghost town. The Giants fan base is a ghost town.
And a pick. Almost a pick.
Not quite.
Man, Norman, I don't know what happened. That was the weirdest almost interception, and then he landed on his head.
And by the way, side note, I forgot which linebacker it was, but there's a linebacker who tore his ACL on the Bengals. I just saw it a minute or two ago. Yeah, it just happened today. Towards the end of the game.
It wasn't birthday, was it Vontae?
And a quick update. LaShawn McCoy is cleared concussion protocol. He'll be playing tomorrow against the Patriots.
These Giants fans are pissed.
I guess fantasy.
These Giants fans are pissed. But look, when it comes to Cooper, my thing is that we'll see a change if Linehan or if Garrett forces Linehan or if the coaches force Garrett to force Linehan, the front office, whoever. Somebody's got to make sure that we use Cooper the right way. If we use Cooper on the vanilla routes that we run and our play calling, What do you think's going to happen? You think Cooper's going to make 13 catches for 200 yards? It's not going to happen. Never.
Exactly.
He's not going to get 3 catches if he's lucky.
And that's and you mentioned earlier that against Washington, Washington shut down the outsides. They forced Zeke to run up the middle. Right. They stuffed the box.
Great
Zeke
point.
got nowhere. And the one time he got around the outside on the right, Washington shut it down right away. So he only got to do that once.
And a couple times we had big ones, there was hole.
With Cooper, other guys, it forces them to spread it out. You can't do that. And honestly, I think they stopped Zeke with like 7 in the box at some points. Like, it didn't even matter at that point. They were just stopping everything we did.
So and that's true.
So frustrating.
Again, Randolph's making the point we've made on here.
Final Steelers win. They won.
Yeah, it's over.
And so we're just wrapping it up here. So, you can put the volume back up.
No, it's not that. Go ahead, hit the. I love the chat.
Yeah, Barry B.
Let's chat it up,
you know
guys.
what? I gotta say, did any of us expect the Redskins to maybe, have a handle on the division at this point in the season, or at any point? Again, I don't think any of us counted them completely out. But definitely some interesting. They're not
that good though, but they're barely beating the Giants. I'm trying to get to channel. Yeah, hold on.
What channel is supposed to be on? Oh, that's why. There we go. So, I don't think the Redskins scored again there. Daniel Mesa.
And looks like Denver's on the last play of the game. They're doing the last play.
Last
man.
desperate move. Oh, but they're still going.
Still going. Emmanuel Sanders got it.
Oh. Nope.
Out of bounds. Turnover.
There you go, guys. Game over. Kansas City. Final score 30-23.
Just ended.
What a crazy game there.
In Spanish for some reason.
Good point. Why are we getting the game in Spanish? At least
I think they give us a special or something. I don't know.
Let me see.
Did I hit like the?
No, I even if we had that button, I've never we don't have like a Spanish button, SAP button or whatever. It's like
they're messing with us right
now. Maybe the game's just transmitting in Spanish. We just didn't notice it.
We're watching the game in Spanish right now. Anyways.
Anyway, real quick, guys. Let me go ahead and get the
4 o'clock games are starting up, guys. We're still watching the Giants at the corner of our eye. There we go. Okay, they're messing with us.
I know, Brian Sharper, it sucks. He said, if AP keeps running like this, Redskins might win the NFC East. Yes, I'm a Cowboys fan, just being real. No, Brian, that's what we're trying to say. That none of us,
man.
when we heard the moves they were making with Alex Smith and stuff, most of us were kind of like,
goodness.
okay.
Eli.
None of us were like, oh, this is a team to watch out for. They got Adrian Peterson. When they made other moves, we expected average to maybe slightly above average from the Redskins. Let's just be real. So for them to put that product out there on the field, for them to beat us, for them to beat the Giants, I guess that's not saying much. But still, divisional teams, they're, never easy. It's not like they came in and blew them. Well, I guess they kind of
Buddy Johnson, I know. UCF, let's go Knights, baby. Sorry.
Let's see. Why were there 4 tight ends in the Washington game and the defensive? Yeah, that Forever DC, I have no idea.
That's personnel. It's coaches.
But thank goodness they were all in.
Again,
because
first down Giants.
Who got hurt? Jeff
and
freaking
24
Swain.
seconds.
Actually, I think we said before the game started that our prediction, that our kind of general thoughts is that maybe one of them was on the market and they were just trying to either show them off a little bit more or something. And I don't remember exactly what info we had. But I think who is it that was playing with special teams? Jarwin?
Yeah, Jarwin
kind of moved to that fourth tight end spot, so we kind of thought that maybe Schultz was moving up and Jarwin
because
was
you have to take Rico. You have to take Rico out of the mix in the tight ends in a way. When you think about our coaching staff,
yes,
you got to take Rico out. So you think about our 3 tight ends. We have Swain's our starter. He's hurt. Then they had Jarwin as the backup, the second guy, and then really technically the third guy is Dalton Schultz because when Swain got hurt, what happened? They moved Schultz and Schultz up and Jarwin up.
Exactly.
And Rico stayed as Rico. He just came in for his specialized plays. Touchdown Evan Ingram for the Giants. So 17 seconds. They need to get if they had scored a touchdown before, they would have.
Exactly. It's meaningless now at this point. Onside kick, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, and that's the thing.
Onside kick
think overall,
and a touchdown. Hail Mary.
Surpassed expectations just because, again, no one expected them to suck the way the Giants are sucking. But I don't think any of us expected them to, seriously be fighting for the NFC East, seriously have, finish. I mean, they're about to be 5-2. I don't know. None of us.
So they're
expected
5-2. Eagles are 4-4.
I honestly thought it would be a struggle between us and the Eagles.
Still
for that
not
top
over
spot.
yet.
I know it's not over.
Eagles
but
are coming on, and we
are
just going up and down, up and down.
So
we got to get back. We got to get on a streak, guys. We got to go up.
And realistically, what does that say
It is the
about
toughest
again
streak right
our
now.
division or us as a team? If the Redskins really are average, then we got our asses handed to us by an average team. So did the Giants. Like,
listen,
that says more about us than it does about them.
Let me say something to you guys for a second here. I got to say this. The Cowboys are ranked on defense 3rd in the NFL right now. Okay, rankings through week 7, not including this week. Week 7, we are ranked 3rd. Okay, when it comes to offense, we're ranked 29th in the NFL right now as of this week. Yeah, switch it. Yeah, if you can. Now I do want to say something, guys, because this is what I wanted to make a mention. This season right now, 2018. We're gonna talk about 2018. Comes down to basically after the Tennessee game, and we got to win this game. This is almost like a must-win. The season comes down to the next 4 games. Now, let me rephrase that. It's not a must-win. If we win it, it's going to just help us later. If we win Tennessee, the home game on Monday night, next Monday night against Tennessee. But listen to this, guys. The season has come down to a 4-game stretch after that. Okay, Week 10. This is Week 8. Week 9, we get Tennessee. Week 10, we get Philly. LT, that's for you. We get them Week 10, and this marks the first game in Philadelphia that holds significance in the Dak Prescott and Zeke era. And you can say the same thing about Carson Wentz as well. In their eras, this is the first time that for these 3 players, it really marks the first significant game they're going to have in Philadelphia. All right? The last time the Cowboys traveled to Philly that featured both teams playing for something was when Romo, guys, broke his collarbone. That was week 2 in 2015. Mm-hmm. That's a bad year. I remember that year. Boy, that was the year we had Whedon, we had Castle, and then Kellen Moore. It was horrible.
Oh, wow. Colts scored.
So
yeah, that fits magic.
We've played in Philly the last 2 years. At the end of the year, both games have were when we were 13-2 and we lost that game. It was irrelevant. And then they were 13-2 and they lost and it was irrelevant.
Sorry, they're about to.
No, definitely go to it. I thought that game would be shown on the other channel. That's why on 35.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Touchdown! Oh, they got it. They tied it, guys. Buccaneers and Bengals and that's not good for the Cowboys because if anything, we want the Bucs to lose.
I mean, yeah, but it's just a good game.
But so red zone style, guys, as we try to keep it in this thing here. 34-34 with 1:05 in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's the Bucs just tied it up in Cincinnati. And it's a big one. That's a big play right there. A 2-point conversion. So there you go. Miracles happen. They came back.
It's happening now.
With Fitzmagic, right? It's not miracles, it's Fitzmagic.
But again, I tossed this out earlier, but what do you do if you are Tampa Bay as far as your quarterback situation?
Oh, he missed the sack right there. Wow.
Is Winston your starter next week? He threw 4 interceptions this game. Is Winston your starter next week?
You can't start him. Which means, what do you do about trade value for him?
What do you do? I'll just say, what do you do with him for the rest of this year, too? What, is he just going to be your backup bench warmer? And Fitzpatrick, what's going to happen when Fitzpatrick starts sucking again? You throw in Jameis Winston and hope for the best. Like, both of these guys are just going to continuously suck for the rest of the season and have moments like this.
So D-Town says that the Redskins play the Falcons next week in D.C. The Falcons have to win this. Philly has a bye, as we know. We have to beat Tennessee Titans on Monday night. We'll know everything by then on Monday night. We might have to do something like this next week too, guys, by the way, on Sunday. It'll be one of these kind of weeks because we don't play on Sunday. So we'll be watching the games. But again, Philly's got a bye, so LT's resting. Washington's got the Falcons. We got to say, come on, Falcons. Falcons got to win.
Bobby J has a question. We need to go after Bill Callahan as our head coach. We need Obi at safety, and we will be contenders. What are your thoughts?
I don't know about Obi starting at safety. I disagree right now. I think he's got to show us that. He didn't show it. He's a second-round overall from Oakland. So, I mean, he has the potential.
And someone will get hurt, and he'll be starting anyway.
Well, he's gonna see playing no matter what because the way we use our guys, you see Frazier jumping in sometimes. You're going to see Obi in there sometimes. But my point is that he's more almost like a linebacker. He's almost like a Kyle Kiro. But he's supposedly, and his stock is a lot better. So I would love to see him on this team, but not as a starter yet. He would have to show it to me the way that Heath at least showed me that he's showing me something. See, Heath has been a guy I've been hard on for the last couple of years, and he's finally starting to really, showing more consistency. Mm-hmm. Bad pass. All right, Dalton.
So Barry B agree 100%. He said the Titans game is a must-win game. Cowboys can't go 3-5 with the Saints. Eagles twice, and then the Falcons.
And that's the key. I want to say that.
Alter said Doug Nussmeier guided the Alabama offense to 2 national championships with Amari Cooper.
And he was consulted. He's our tight end. He's our tight ends coach.
He will be responsible that Linehan does not screw up Cooper.
Well,
so,
all right.
I have
our tight end coach.
Comments on that. One. Even if he,
that's a great point,
if he does screw him up, it will be a short-term screw-up. Linehan won't last long enough to screw him up in any permanent way. We're talking about just this year. And 2, it would be interesting if what you're saying is that a little bit of the dynamics have once again changed inside of the locker room in the sense of Linehan might be the offensive coordinator, he might be calling the plays or whatever, but behind the scenes we have Nussmeier. Behind the scenes maybe we have Garrett, or we have other people we don't even know about. Yeah. Whatever the Cowboys team and staff dictating or saying no. We know Cooper, we know this, we know that, and this is what you guys are going to do. But yet in
games, we see Linehan's play call rear its ugly head almost all the time, even when we see the new things. Even when Dak probably came to him and said, let me run more. It still comes back. The restrictions are back on. There's always that, what about the play action? And we see it for the first drive, and then it goes away. It's sporadically used. No. So some teams are predictable with it and can manage fantastic plays out of it, like us.
Exactly.
With Zeke, that's what you use. If you're not going to run him, play action his ass, I mean, not every single play, but a lot more than we do it at 20% of the time. That's 1 out of every 5 passing plays for most of the year. One game we didn't do that. One game. We went more, and that was the Jacksonville game. I think another game we came close, and that was the Detroit game.
Yes.
We were doing it more, but we got to see more consistency from the coaches, especially Linehan.
Yeah. Now,
case closed, and maybe even the offensive line coach, Paul Alexander.
Forever DC said Obi's from Mass, went to UConn. That might be a factor if the Patriots are in the mix now, for sure. But the one thing is that he left the Patriots and he still hasn't signed.
Oh!
What a catch.
They got a shot. They're about 4 yards away from a field goal.
He called it. He said, don't count out Dalton Schultz.
Yep, 4 yards from a first. They got one timeout, and they're trying to I would spike it.
I think they are
spike
trying
the
to
ball.
spike it.
They got no penalty here. Spike it. Good.
Good.
Now, they get at least a play. They can hit him in the middle. You open up so many things when you spike the ball. See, this is what the Cowboys did not do last week, and did not hustle.
Well, I was going to say, we're seeing a lot more hustle from the Bengals
yeah,
here.
I mean, we saw, and again, that's part of coaching, too. The coaches weren't out there saying, get on the line. They were just like, all right, good.
Yeah,
and Dak was like, good. And
Buddy Johnson, Rand Alter, interesting points.
Nussmeier, offensive.
Rand Alter said, behind the scenes, we have our next OC in waiting. Buddy Johnson said, I'd rather have Nussmeier as our OC or quarterback coach.
Both you guys making great
What's
points.
his
I love this
position now?
Cowboy
What's his
Nation.
current position now?
Who,
Nussmeier?
He's a tight ends coach. I'm pretty sure he's
so
a tight
again,
ends coach.
He's already
hitting it inside the middle. You call timeout. Oh, it's incomplete. Don't call timeout then.
Okay.
Wait, they call it. They let
the
clock run. They let it go to 3 seconds. You call timeout. But if it's incomplete, you gotta give them time back. Okay, why did they call timeout with 6 seconds? That's silly. It's a flag.
And now there's a flag. What the hell is going on here?
I don't know. It's a really weird game right now in Cincinnati, guys.
Ooh, so
it looked incomplete because the ball bounced out. What's up, man?
Again, if Linehan's going to be out of a job, I think Nussmeier is kind of the natural replacement if you're looking in-house.
Well, the Cowboys usually
and again, if Marinelli is also retiring, not getting fired, retiring next year, Richard is already being primed to take over that spot.
Yeah, he's our defensive coordinator. There's no way he's not going to be. Because the only way he's not our defensive coordinator is somebody else hires him.
Honestly, I see Nussmeier being quarterback's coach more likely, maybe. I mean,
quarterback's coach?
I was gonna say, I don't see what kind of experience he has.
Get Linehan out. We just got to get Linehan out of there.
But I don't see the Cowboys looking in-house for.
Well, I wish we could get Joe DiFilippo and then replace Garrett the next year as a head coach. You have a battle. It's either DiFilippo or Chris Richard. If you want to go that way, you want to really go at it, go get yourself a good – pull a Garrett. Why don't you pull a Garrett on Garrett, right? Because with Garrett, we paid more to Garrett as an assistant offensive head coach or offensive coordinator. We paid him more money than we did Wade Phillips as our head coach.
And again, as a head coach, how does that make you feel?
So now Garrett, we should get DiFilippo, who's really going to be a head coach, pay him head coach money. Tell him next year you're going to probably replace Garrett.
Again, is secretly what I think we did some kind of something there with Richard in a similar sense, where maybe not money-wise, but in promises and talk and something in his contract.
I don't know, just some ideas.
I don't know.
I like Joe DiFilippo. Right now, he was the quarterback's coach. Quarterback coach in Philly with Wentz. Then he went to be
they're going for
he was going to be it's 1st and 5.
No, I know.
Oh yeah, and then they called timeout. They wanted to waste 3 seconds. They should have went forward. I don't know what they're doing. The fans are like
I don't think he
booing.
even tried to go forward. It literally
He
looked
missed,
like he went
and they
like,
missed. And guys, Bullock missed an extra point for Cincinnati. So
That's
Nussmeier is
tough.
not a bad offensive coordinator. And in the meantime, if you want something flux in there, you can maybe have Carrot take over for a little bit until Nussmeier gets used to it, then promote him.
Exactly. Dallas Cowboy Football News in the house. He said we have to win out
I know.
9-0. Every game is a
I
must
agree.
win.
The rest of the stuff doesn't matter, really. We got to win. But let's be real.
We put ourselves in a position where every single game is a must win because now, again, even just one game, even just one game could mean the difference. And again, just not just any game, because we could win every single game. If we lose a game against the Eagles, we're screwed. If we lose again against the Redskins, we're screwed.
And some people say Lincoln Riley for head coach. Again, I see the money being a factor and them not coming, and also not wanting to play under someone like Jerry Jones, and that goes for most out of market coaches. If you get somebody in there like a DiFilippo as a lateral move, which I don't know if he's going to want to leave, Minnesota, because he was in Philly as a quarterback coach, went to offensive coordinator, and now he got a lot of head coach looks. Head coach is next for him, and he's going to be hotly sought after. So is Chris Richard.
No, I'm truly worried. That's why I hope the Cowboys.
Nussmeier is not a bad call for coordinator, not head coach, but coordinator, and then maybe you can go with so maybe Ben Bloom has the trust of the linebacking core.
One thing I don't see, unfortunately, I'm going to say it, I don't see the Cowboys replacing everyone in 1 year. If next year. Like I said, I would be shocked if Garrett is gone next year. I see Linehan leaving. I see Marinelli retiring. I see a lot of other moves being made, but I don't see Garrett going anywhere.
So here we go.
Unless something really goes wrong.
Bullock's going to kick it.
In this
I'm sorry.
season.
This is the win for the Bengals.
And it looks good. And it's good.
It's good. Bengals win. Looks like they win.
Yep. Oh, there's a flag! Wait.
There's a Cowboy flag on the field. Let's see what the flag is.
It's over.
Was there a hole? They're celebrating.
Oh, so it's on the Bucs, so it doesn't matter.
If it's on the Bucs.
They're saying it is.
Who is?
Yeah.
Game is over.
Game over, guys. No
So
Dak Ninja,
Bucs,
under tech win.
Bucs are 3-4 now, like us.
So, so then here, I'll toss this out to the chat. So, whatever, I don't know what your general thoughts are as far as Garrett, but let's assume that Garrett and Linehan are a package deal. Okay? Let's assume that if one goes, they both go, or if one stays, they both stay. What is it going to take? If we go 9-7, do they stay?
I don't think the record matters. I don't think the record matters. I think what
matters
matters is if we make the playoffs to Jerry Jones.
So you think again? So you're saying a playoff? So record, regardless of the record, a visit to the playoffs means they stay. That's your thoughts?
It means
because Jerry Jones
it means
Garrett
Garrett stays, and if that you're telling me, I think Linehan's gone. But you tell me I think
I'm
Garrett's.
trying to say it as
I think they're chipping away at the Garrett regime here. But Jerry Jones is too nice. He's too caring. Like he wasn't.
Yeah, for everybody to see. That's why I think that he's going to stay at least another year. Just
that's
because
what I'm saying. He's
going to
play on his contract, right? Exactly.
And then that's what I'm saying. They have enough respect and appreciation for Garrett and the organization. Whatever. They're not just going to cut. I'm just, you know what I mean.
I know.
They like Garrett too much.
I agree.
To kick him out on his last year of his contract. They'll let him finish out his contract, but they might not necessarily renew it.
And again, Zach says that we have to win next week, and I actually want to talk about that for a moment because we're watching the other games. Indianapolis was 7-0
there you go.
against Oakland, but I want to talk about this after Tennessee though. Okay, we have to win Tennessee. We win in Tennessee. We're 4-4. We're there with the Eagles, playing the Eagles the next week, right? And like I said, guys, this is the first game in Philadelphia that matters in 3 years since the Dak, Zeke, and Carson Wentz regime. We played them 2 years ago when we were 13-3. It didn't matter, and we lost that game. Didn't matter. The last year we played didn't matter. It was an irrelevant game. And we won an irrelevant game against their backups. That's disgusting. We barely beat their backups. So Philly kicks off the 4-game gauntlet. Okay, that's going to define this Cowboys season. This is not going to we got a shot or we don't have a shot or no. This is win lose. This is it. This is it. This is defining our season.
Exactly.
Week 17. That doesn't matter until this gets resolved. This has to be resolved first. This is going to define our season, guys. We have not won on the road yet. So after Tennessee, if we win at home, which we have to, we're 4-4. We go to Philly, right? Very, very difficult. Got to win that game. I think we can. We got to win that game. And then after that game, guys, we got to go to Atlanta. okay, in Atlanta. They've struggled at home. Inside of their stadium, they have not. They've struggled this year, but not at their home. We've struggled on the road. So this is a pretty big win we need to have. And again, remember those demons from the Chaz Green Day? So, we gotta get revenge on that one. We gotta get revenge on the Eagles. We gotta get revenge on Atlanta. But that's our next 2 road games after Tennessee. So that's half of our defining games. We got a short week, guys. After that, turn around against the Redskins. All right, 4 days. Mm-hmm. We got to go back home Thanksgiving and play the Redskins, okay? And then 7 days later, a week later, on Thursday night, okay, we played on Thanksgiving Thursday, but we play Thursday again. We play the Saints in Dallas. 2 home games back to back. So we get 7 days, in a week. We get the Redskins. 8 days, you get the Redskins, and then you get the Saints. All right, at home. All right, the division leader probably, maybe. And you have the Saints, which is the Drew Brees led, unbelievably offensive Saints in Dallas on Thursday Night Football. And then before that, you get the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champions and hated division rivals in Philly, and then you get Atlanta in Atlanta. So those are the 4 games. Outside of this next Tennessee game, it's going to define our season, and it's going to define a lot of where the money's going to be spent. A lot of the players are going to still be or not be on this team, and these coaches.
Yeah, so actually, speaking of that, since we kind of carried on that conversation, I asked, do you think Linehan is gone even with a playoff appearance? Because
I think so, yes.
Because even DCFN said, Ari said it on your live, if Garrett doesn't make the playoffs, he's gone. So that's his thoughts.
Well, I think Linehan's gone.
Said,
I don't agree with Ari 100%.
Well, okay, I'm just letting you know what they're saying. Okay, they're not saying that that's what you're saying.
No.
He's saying that.
No, but I agree with Ari about Linehan being gone at the end of the year if we don't get the either way now. I think he said now recently he said that either way he's gone.
Yeah,
but he's saying Garrett's going to be gone if they don't make play. I think Garrett might still be here.
So my question was, does Linehan go even though we make the playoffs, does Linehan still leave no matter what? So
I believe so.
Bobby J said if we don't make the playoffs, Scott is gone and then Garrett the year after. DC Evans said let's hope so. Barry B said no, only if they don't make the playoffs. He sees them going. So Purple Gaming said, I want them to, but if we make the playoffs, the Cowboys will find some stupid excuse to keep them there. So Forever DC said, for Jason Garrett, before his contract runs out, if he loses the locker room, he loses the players. So he thinks that the only way. No, he says that's why he doesn't think that he'll do it before his contract runs out.
That's
for
what I'm saying.
Linehan, I do think it's over for him. He does have a brilliant offensive mind, but it hasn't evolved. So
he also can't. Yeah, he hasn't evolved, and he can't be stuck in using players his way when they're not meant to be used that way. Whether it be Dak, whether it be Zeke, or whether it be the receivers or his game plan in general to get them, interacting with each other and kind of rolling together, in kind of a because when Dak and Zeke were there rolling through things, he was our coordinator, but it was vanilla because we went to our strengths. We went to running Zeke, and we had our offensive line was in full effect. Basically.
I know, but there's a lot of other factors why it worked.
But the play calling was very scaled back. It was very conservative, and that helped Dak. That helped,
I know, but just like Linehan, Dak has to evolve too. You can't do that and expect to win.
Right, and you also got, like Linehan, he tried to evolve into this. And this was a bad path, do you understand? So he should be gone based on that.
Yes, so
but then at the same time, Dak needs to be accurate.
So again, talking about Dak,
yes.
So just another perspective. Rookie Patrick Mahomes has 7 300-yard games in just 9 regular season games played. Dak has 3 in his 39 career games.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, look at a lot of other quarterbacks that probably don't have that in that same span. Not many have it in the same.
Yeah, so
I don't think anybody has it like Mahomes.
Let's just recap the NFC standings now through Week 8. Now that all the NFC East teams have played, so the Redskins are leading the division with 5-2. Eagles second spot. They're 4-4. Cowboys are 3-4, and the New York Giants are 1-7. At the bottom. So
they didn't even have their bye. They don't have the luxury of that yet. So they got to play.
It looks like AJ Green jammed his big toe in that Bengals game. Looks pretty gnarly there.
What's up, Terabelli in the house? What's up, man? Another true fan pops in here sometimes. A true Giant fan.
What's up,
Sub up to him, guys.
So again, as a Giants fan, you must be having a rough season so far.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I didn't think it'd be this bad. I really did not. I really never thought it'd be this bad. And nobody thought the Redskins would be in first place.
No.
I think it's a little mirage, but I don't know. I think the Eagles are coming for him. I think the Cowboys, if Lenahan can use Cooper the right way and the offensive line blocks and Dak is accurate, that's a lot of ifs. And if they don't happen, then we're not going to compete. But if those things happen, we will compete. We will compete for the top spot with the Eagles, and I don't know if the Redskins are going to last.
So, and guys, we still haven't seen the Rams game here, but this is horrible. This is not. I'll fix it here in a second. But look, that's their logo on the field today. That was painted over. Like,
let me see.
It's horrible.
What was on there?
SC.
Oh yes.
Like you could still see the logo from the college team that played.
Wow.
It just looks horrible. Ugh. Again, NFL, you got more money than that. So here, let me fix this.
We got the Rams on now. It's 0-0 right now. Rams have the ball on the 35 or so. Let me see who's in the chat up in this. Pat Mahomes top 3. You know, what was it? I think they counted it as a run for Kareem Hunt when he jumped over, but that looked like a shovel pass. So that's a pass. That would have been his 26th, I think, touchdown. And in what, 8 weeks?
Something like
That's
that.
insanity with a capital I guess.
Exactly.
Tara Belly says Cowboys or Skins taking the division, in my opinion. I mean, I think the Eagles still got a chance to run in with it, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see, because, you know, the Eagles barely hanging in there with Jacksonville in London. They're getting a break game. They didn't have to play a road game. You know, they play a road game, but really there was more Eagle fans than Jacksonville fans, and this is a home game for Jacksonville.
Bobby, that is the point we've been trying to make since day one here. He said, take Mahomes away from the coaching that he's getting from Andy Reid, he would not be doing what he's doing.
Correct.
And that's why,
Correct.
again, we got so incredibly lucky in 2016 that things went as well as they did. And honestly, I credit that more, less to it wasn't like you said, it's not like our play calling was fantastic. We scaled it back. We were very basic with most of our plays. No, the reason that it succeeded was because we were unexpected. People didn't know how to handle Dak, how to shut him down yet.
Yeah.
We saw a big change in 2016 and 2017. The league didn't know how to handle Zeke either. And yes, arguably in 2016, that offensive line was better then than it was in 2017 and definitely in 2018. And 2015 just sucked for everyone. So the offensive line almost didn't matter when you have a quarterback who can't do anything. So it's just, again, a series of unfortunate things. But that's where Forever DC, that's where we're struggling, because we do have the pieces together. We do have guys that overall, you know, we think can do it. But why do you think Dak has been so inconsistent? When he was drafted at the 4th round, if you read his draft thing, one of the things that said he's a player who needs to be coached up.
Right.
And I'm just saying that we're not seeing Dak get coached up. We're seeing it coached down.
I think we've seen it multiple times with Garrett. We've seen his unfortunateness. I see D-Town, XG says, hoping we still win a Super Bowl and start a dynasty with Garrett. Shrugs.
Yeah,
I mean,
D-Town,
listen,
that's interesting.
I will say this. I truly do hope. I hope that our Cowboys do win a championship this year, number 6 with Garrett. And let's go with that. I hope that. We want that. But the reality is that's not true. And, Winston traded the Giants for 5th. Could be possible. That is a good point you're making there. You never know.
Exactly. They just need a quarterback who can be better than Manning right now.
I mean,
at this point.
And again, just somebody to hold them over.
But Forever DC, that's kind of the point I was trying to make. Is that exactly, like, we are getting to the point where we do have the players to do it, but we can't do what we did in 2016 and expect it to work, because teams are there's no new factor there anymore. So we do have to get creative. And
that's why Richard taking over for Marinelli is great with the defense. You see what's happening there. We don't have that on offense. Is Nussmeier that guy? Probably not. But you could bring in a head coach that could do that. Now, if you don't think so, if you think Garrett's the head coach, you better bring yourself a damn good coordinator. But who's going to be that? Is Nussmeier that guy?
Oh yeah, John Lindsay. I'm almost excited to see. Just because, again, we've already done our crazy trades, so for the most part, we don't think anything else is coming down the pipeline for us.
Never know.
But
with Jerry Jones, if they pulled that, you never know.
That's why I said I don't think. We can't predict crazy other things. That's why you got to hit like, you have to subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss when we go live if something like that breaks, guys.
So Rand says the only reason anyone's impressed by Mahomes is because they're winning. And again, I think that's part of it, because he is hitting. He's connecting. He's got 26 touchdowns. You're probably going to be winning if you have 26 touchdowns, but he's also coached well. They got a good defense. I mean, they got a good team.
He has good tools around him, too. It's not
Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt is not just a scrub. Tyreek Hill is not just a 6th-round receiver or something.
Rumors are saying he could win the MVP. He very well could.
The way he's playing right now,
he could break.
Find me another player who's playing at that level.
He could break Brady and record and what's his record touchdowns
I hope he does.
And you can imagine the hype if he has a bad year.
No, Dak Ninja, you make a good point too. Though he said that a lot of interceptions Dak had his rookie year, a lot of those were just dropped.
You're right about that.
So
yes.
his stats looked better because the guys were just dropping those interceptions. And honestly, most of Dak's interceptions that should have been are because we get lucky the guys drop them.
Yeah, you're right. And sometimes they bounce off their shoulder pads and they're picked off because of the receivers.
Honestly, that frustrates me more.
It's almost
the fact
like
that we have so many receiver-caused interceptions and not so
we get breaks. We get breaks on Dak's bad passes. They go through their hands, but we don't get breaks.
The receivers forget it.
The receivers it causes interceptions.
Everything that can go wrong goes wrong.
So it looks better for Dak. But Murph the Surf says somebody has to mold Dak. Kellen Moore is the quarterback coach. When Wade Wilson was the quarterback coach, Dak and Romo were superb. And I agree to an extent, but I think it's not really Kellen Moore. He's just kind of like his buddy.
Forever DC
it's really Scott Linehan. He said it publicly in this offseason that he's the one really dealing as the quarterback coach with Dak Prescott. And he's the reason. He's the one we got to get out. Kellen Moore is kind of like Dak's friend. He's like Dak's personal coach buddy. He's not really his quarterback coach, in my opinion. That's kind of what they made it seem. I seen here Marcus Green says, I love the old rivals of the Cowboys and Niners.
But Murph the Surf, another good point. He says someone has to mold Dak. Kellen Moore is the quarterback coach. Yeah. So and then Forever DC said there's so much talent on this Cowboys team. That's why it's so frustrating to watch and have them come away the losses they have. And that's why Fiance and I, as much as we know players need to execute, as much as we definitely have positions of need still on this team, like every team, that's why at the end of the day, we keep coming back to, yes, our same broken record. The coaching staff has got to go because Jerry Jones is a problem, but he'll always be the owner. Can't change who owns this team. But the coaches, the people who are supposed to be bringing this team to success, in spite of Jerry Jones, they're the ones who are dropping the ball. And Dak, you're the one who said it, I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You said Jason Garrett never did anything to even earn the head coaching job. So
he did well in Miami as the coordinator or the quarterback's coach there. They were innovated. He was the hot name on the list, and because he's a former Cowboy, because he's a former buddy of Jerry Jones,
honestly, he
was on the list.
If he's right way when he was with the Cowboys as the backup.
And if he's on the list, guys, if he's on the list to all these other head coaching spots that are willing to pay him, crazy amounts of money to sign him at the time, his next step was going to be head coaching. But the Cowboys had Wade Phillips. They didn't want to cut him. They didn't want to part ways with him yet.
Get me Mark Sanchez as a quarterback coach.
My point about that is that's the same thing as Kellen Moore. He's the same thing as Kellen Moore. That's what he is. Kellen Moore, it's like his backup buddy. So my point back to what I was saying is that Wade Phillips there was no way we can fire him, so he just decided to pay him enough to Jason Garrett that he wouldn't go somewhere else with knowing that eventually he'll take over for Wade Phillips when he's either fired or is gone. And that was the plan. Now look, see this pass by Aaron Rodgers? That's not what you're going to see from Dak Prescott most of the time.
That field is horrible. All the old logos, you can still, I'm just saying, there's a whole bunch of red and stuff.
But that pass of Deontay Adams was great because that's Aaron Rodgers. That's not Dak Prescott and that's not Carson Wentz. That's Aaron Rodgers and that's Brady and that's Breeze.
Aaron Rodgers blindfolded with one hand behind his back because that's the type of quarterback he is.
There's only few and far in between of those kind of quarterbacks. People say, "Oh, we don't see that from Dak." Well, because that's not Dak. Rodgers is not Dak. All right, not many people are Rodgers or Brady or Breeze. Even Big Ben and some other guys you could say, but then Carson Wentz and Dak, they're still not there yet, guys. And that's just the way. I don't know if they'll ever be there.
No Dak.
Goff as well.
So it was no Dak who said that about Jason Garrett. But he said, I think I could be an NFL receiver for Aaron Rodgers. Exactly. Look at that.
Look at that. Wow. Touchdown. That's just the way he slings it. It's like he's like a robot, and it's similar thing with Breeze, similar thing with Brady. But you see, but you see guys like who's the Falcons guy? Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan. He's not there. Stafford. He has some big games. Stafford has some big games, but those aren't those guys. And then you got the Wentzes and could probably be in that group. And then you got the Daks. The Daks are next.
Fiance forgot. Mark Sanchez and Dak. Don't ask me why. And according to even Dak himself, one of them spoke specifically and said
agree.
that even Romo wasn't really the one helping Dak. It was Mark Sanchez.
Okay, so then let's hire him instead of Kellen Moore. But he's not. They're not coaches.
No,
they're just
I know
buddies.
They're not coaches,
Touchdown, by the way, for the Raiders.
I don't care what they are. It's like freaking Brady and his stupid Dr. Guru friend guy.
Seth Roberts from the Raiders got a touchdown.
If it works, it works.
The reason I say that's important is because guess what? That's not Cooper. Cooper's not there. So that would have been Cooper's touchdown, let's say. Seth Roberts from the Raiders has scored from Derek Carr, and that was, that they're trying to show that, and I'm saying that because that's directly related to the Amari Cooper trade.
Yeah, I think overrated is probably the better word for Gruden. Again, he is not, again, much like Amari Cooper, he's not going to go to the Raiders and fix every problem they have. And a lot
but he has
too
a
many
plan.
people went in.
He has a plan. That's the key, though.
And not just that, but here's
10-year
the
plan,
too.
too.
He is the leader. So whether you think he's going to go in there and fix everything or not, he's the guy who's going to be leading the charge on where this team goes for the next however many years.
Boomer is saying that he's overrated. Whether or not he's overrated, he's going into a plan. The Raiders knew he was going to go into a plan, and what he saw in his first
and they're letting
6 months of him taking control, they knew that this was possible with him. They knew that this was a possibility with Gruden at the coach, and you got to see not really what he's going to do this year, next year, the year after. I mean, you got to see what he's going to do, but not really what the record's going to show. As much as what's this team going to be in 3 or 4 years after draft picks? Is he able to mold them up and get them up to that point, coach them up to that point? He usually does well. Gruden does well with already preordained very good players. Here he does well when they already have like the Cowboys, who have a lot of good skilled talent players already there. And just need a little more push,
He could take that and make it work.
But he's not a great creator of players, right? So for the Raiders, we'll see how that goes. But they keep in Derek Carr, and they got a couple other little pieces, and then they got to basically rebuild.
I'm going to say something a little crazy here, just because, and again, not so much about Garrett, but just overall as far as football. Because think about it, when you do have a head coach or coaching staff or something that is more building oriented. You can't build you do build constantly, but you can't build forever. At some point, that mindset has to go, and you have to kind of change mindsets. Yeah. Is that, do you think that partially contributes to the high turnover in just coaching, in general? Just because as teams go through different parts of their progression and stuff, it's, again, you can't, good coaches, every coach at some point has to kind of call it quits, but I don't know what adds to the high turnover, just because, again, if football is the kind of sport where you think being consistent, I don't know if anybody said this in
the chat. And by the way, guys, it was not a touchdown. It's on the 1 yard line.
Oh, wow.
And Jimmy Graham would have had it, which is unfortunately my fantasy team. But anyways, I don't really care about that right now. But my point is that I think the key to great coaches is they have to coach great. They have to be. I think you got to be hard. I think there's certain things you got to be, and you got to make real tough choices. Be aggressive at times, and know when not to be aggressive. Touchdown by number 30 for the Packers. So Williams scored a touchdown in the run. So they're up 7-0 or 6-0 with extra point to go. But I think it's
hard to have a head coach that is passive.
Well, but all right. But here's the thing: in the end, it's how you build your coaching staff. That's what makes you the great coach. Because look at all the great coaches. The branches, right, is what we're talking about. Because these coaches found guys that worked, that knew that Parcells cultivated great coaches.
And all those coaches went on to
cultivate great coaches.
Things. Exactly.
And so you see the lineage of these guys, and I think that's the best thing. You're a coach that can find great coaching to coach your positions, coach your coordinators. You'll be a coordinator, offense and defense, to be able to find them, not to get them because your owner got them, but to request them, to go out and find them, and then tell your owner, I need this. That's what makes a great coach. It's hard to be a great coach under this flag right here.
So is Richard one of those moves, you would say?
But not by Garrett.
No.
By Marinelli I would say by Marinelli's push. But of course, the front office kind of putting it over the top.
We can't even say not by Garrett just because we don't know who is the person inside the organization that said, hey, let's look at Richard. We want him.
I've heard it's Marinelli. Because it was Marinelli kind of gave the extra point.
I'm just saying
that's
that we
not
can't,
reported.
Yeah,
that's
we
reported.
Just can't out
Well, that's something
Garrett,
that's something we read in reports back in the offseason. That was more Marinelli. It was Marinelli's call with Richard.
Yeah. So what actually, Forever DC, let's go ahead and change topics there, I guess. What is the plan for Dak? So,
okay.
I'm just saying we're at this point in the season.
That's a good time to talk about it on a bye week.
We've had Dak for 2 years now. We're halfway through his third year.
All right.
He has another year left on his rookie contract before we have to pay him any serious money.
So before this,
what do the Cowboys do at this point?
So let's first look before what happened. before this year started.
Because we're at this point, it's one of those things where it's make or break in the sense of if we're looking at the future,
let's go before.
We got to look at the future now.
Right. Well, that's the point. Let's go back a couple months when everything was being spoken by Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and every Cowboy front office guy that we're signing him for a long term.
We're paying him the big money.
We're paying him big money.
And we're not saying that talk hasn't changed from the staff because the Cowboys hasn't necessarily changed their tune on that.
Well, the thing is this. I don't know what they've changed their tune on or not, but
they haven't talked about it.
They haven't talked about it.
The opposite.
But they also so let's also go to another thing way back when in the before Oxnard, and that is when we were there. We heard it here on My Cowboys Family live. We heard their first press conference or whatever, where they asked about Jason Garrett and his job, and they said, it was not in danger, not at all. Even if they don't make the playoffs, not at all. Yet when they said it now, a couple weeks ago, is his job they're gonna get it. You can give him a contract. He goes, well, there's no.
Jerry Jones was refuting because there's some rumors, some information coming out saying that there was talks. Jason Garrett's contract might be extended. And Jerry Jones went on 105.3 The Fan or on another Dallas radio station or something on an interview. He said, those rumors are unsubstantiated. We don't know where they're getting that information. Correct. There's no kinds of talks like that going on.
So what you can see with this Amari Cooper move, outside of it being something else with, related to the coaching staff, relating to Scott Linehan, specifically. But when you look at all these things, all right?
No second, guys.
Yeah, when you look at all these things, you got to also keep in mind that it also is a big thing on Dak. So this is a big thing because this is a confidence thing on Dak. The system didn't work, so it's on Dak. Dak, is not able to produce with not a number one guy. So they went out and got a number one guy, all right, in Amari Cooper, saying, okay, Linehan, you were wrong, but now Dak, you gotta show us now. You've been inaccurate. You've made some poor decisions. You've missed some calls. You haven't had the anticipation factor. We've talked about that issue with Dak. So he's got a lot of issues still he's got to figure out. Is that only because of the receivers? I don't think so. A lot of it has to do with the blocking. The new offensive line coach could be one of the guys that are has the bullseye on them, if you want to so to speak. But still, the head coach, I think, has a lot to do with it. And I think that when it comes to Dak Prescott, this accelerates the definition of what he's going to be for this team. Because think about this, guys. Jerry Jones, without saying it, I know Fiance said he never said it. Yeah, true. He never said it. He never said, I'm going to give Dak this money. Or I'm not going to give Dak this money.
But all the talk about it stopped, and I get that part.
And not just that, but also the fact that they got Cooper saying that we're not sure if we're going to give Dak that money. That's what it says. So going forward, winning games, we got to have the offensive line block, assuming they block, and assuming Linehan can use, with Nussmeier's help from tight end coach, Nussmeyer, whatever it is, Nussmeyer, tight end coach, who knows Calvin Ridley and knows all the Alabama guys and knows this Alabama guy, Amari Cooper. He will hopefully help, sway Linehan this way.
I think
if they use him right, and if the line blocks on the road and home, on the road and at home for Dak, then I think it's all on Dak. Dak gets himself a big contract if he produces. If those things occur, and he has to produce. If he produces, he might get that big contract. So Jerry Jones does not eat his words. But if he falters and he's inaccurate still after the offensive line blocking, and Linehan, even if he calls BS play calling, he still uses Cooper correctly in his route running, then I think it's on Dak if he doesn't connect. And then you see Dak with one more year to prove himself. You get one more extension for Dak. He gets it because Linehan gets the chop. That's what I'm saying. These things is how it's going to work. If Dak is bad, Linehan gets chopped.
This year, Dak still has the safety blanket of Linehan, I think.
Correct.
That if things go bad with him and he can't connect with Cooper, or he's just looking bad and he's sucking, I think that they'll find a way to have Linehan be the scapegoat. But next year, when you have Amari Cooper getting paid $13-14 million, when you have Dak Prescott back there, when you have whatever. The point is they feel like the Cowboys have given him everything Dak could possibly need.
And he's getting $400,000 this year.
He's getting $400,000 this year. Back next year. I'm just saying.
Next year he's getting 14.
All the pieces are in place. Cooper. There's no more excuses. If Dak can't make it happen next year with no Linehan,
it's over.
Exactly. It just and
it's also over. And you know what else is over for?
But
it's also over for Garrett. That's the end of Garrett's contract. So Garrett's also out.
End of the line for Garrett.
At that point. Because Garrett's also, I think Garrett's more attached to Dak. It was his call to make that guy. And
he
was
the
his
one
call
who
over
led him in the
Romo.
draft?
Yes, it was over Romo too. And it's not a blame. I can't say that's a bad move because he's the hot hand. But he's the one that forced Romo out. Garrett. Not everyone said Dak. No, Dak's play. You can't blame Dak's play. Garrett's the one that forced Romo out. And Romo being forced out, that's on Garrett's head till 2019, the end of 2019. So this year and next year, Garrett's probably here, the end of this year and the end of next year. And if we don't get to the playoffs and get to the division, a conference championship at least, Garrett is out on the streets. Let someone get him. I don't give a damn if the Giants get him. Get him. I don't care. Take him.
Or on the flip side, we get rid of Linehan. Next year, we bring in someone else. I'm just saying.
Right,
Nussmeier,
let's say.
Yeah, just look, I don't care. That's not the point. The point is, we go in here
Fair
next
enough.
year. Dak plays fantastic. Guys, we make the playoffs. Oh, my goodness, we won a playoff game. Oh, my God. And then we lose. Let's just say we have one playoff game win.
Right.
What do you think is going to happen
Garrett gets
to
the
that
extension.
team? Garrett's going to get the extension. Dak is going to get his big money. And I'm not saying Dak doesn't deserve it. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to say that next year is a very complicated and delicate year too, just because of the other things that are in the balance. Dak getting the long-term contract won't hurt us, I think, as much as Garrett getting it.
Yeah.
Just because, Dak, as far as the team and stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like we know what we're getting with Dak, but there's still, even with Dak, there's still potential for him to improve and get better, and he can put other coaching staff and stuff. But are we ever going to see anything that we haven't already seen from Jason Garrett? Are we going to see anything new? Is this team ever going to do anything other than win one playoff game with Jason
Let me
Garrett?
say about now. We can talk about now, right now. I mean, we're talking about this 4-game stretch, and I talked about it, guys, after Tennessee. We have at Philadelphia, at Atlanta, then a short turnaround, home against Washington, Thanksgiving, and then 7 days later on Thursday night, we had a Thursday game against the Thanksgiving against the Redskins. Hopefully they're turkeys that day. And then 7 days later on Thanksgiving, Thursday Night Football, we get the Saints in Dallas. So 2 away, 2 on the road. Really, after the next 5, 3 home, 2 away. So here's the thing. We got to beat Tennessee. And the 4-game stretch, guys, it's brutal for the Cowboys. This is probably the one we talked about as being the toughest one. Because after the Saints, we get 10 days.
Yep.
It's almost like a bye. And then we get the Eagles in Dallas. We'll talk about that. That's
again,
later. That's December.
A lot of games against a lot of teams that are important, but specifically challenging to us because of their importance.
The Cowboys have to at least get through half of those 4. We got to win at least 2 of those 4. We got to beat Tennessee. We got to win at least at worst, guys, 3-2 in the next 5, and that's lowballing it. We got to go 4-1, or 5-0, honestly, but. But okay, let's say worst case scenario is 3-2. We got to go 3-2 the next 5. You figure Tennessee we beat, Washington we beat. We got to win one of the other 3. We got to beat the Saints at home. We got to beat Atlanta on the road, or Philadelphia Eagles on the road, which would be the best one. They get 2 weeks to plan for us. Remember that.
Ooh, guitar slinging, interesting. He said, when Romo got healthy in 2016 and we stayed with Dak, it was a horrible decision in hindsight. Romo would have won us the Super Bowl that season. He had finally mastered the art of the quarterbacking in 2014. I know that's what he said, but here's the thing. Romo would have been great for the 1, 2, 3 games he could have squeezed out of
Maybe
him
got a Super Bowl,
he took another hit. The thing about Romo is that we all knew it. He was 1 hit away from dying in the middle of the football field at that point. And Romo himself, it's hard because football is a game of momentum. You said it. They had to play the hot hand. If they bench Dak, that's the end of Dak right there. In the sense of the quality of the play, the whatever.
Fortunately unfortunately, the reason I think Dak, I think that the nail in the coffin for Romo was the playoff game, because Dak is the one that single-handedly brought them back in the air. It wasn't through Zeke. So the coaches backed Dak, and the coaches told the. I
mean, we hadn't played a playoff game when Romo said what he said, though, either. When the coaches
no. I know that. No. What I'm trying to say though is that by that happening, it was like, you know what, Dak has too much momentum for this team. He has the team. Romo is, everyone's wondering when he's going to get hurt again, and then putting those 2 things together, the Joneses in the offseason, I think after that playoff game said, no, that's it. I think it wasn't. I think they would have said, Romo's still the starter for the money situation. Think about that, guys. For the money situation. Dak would have been a very cheap backup.
Oh, yeah.
Probable starter if anything happens to Dak. Anything happens to Romo. So, yeah, I mean, there's all that. Look, hindsight's always 20/20. But really, the change of the guard, when it comes to Dak and the change of the whole system, trying to evolve him the Linehan way was a fail.
Aaron Rodgers is a bad memento.
So I do want to say, guys, hit that like button if you're watching. Hit the subscribe button. to help out the Cowboys, my Cowboys family, help out the family.
Yeah, guys, we're going to start wrapping things up shortly here.
So,
but for all you guys here, thank you so much.
Which means,
for
by the
hanging out
way,
with us.
Amari Cooper still holds on 100 points there on the stream, boss. Thank you, Amari Cooper. Thank you. Number 19.
Number one wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, and that's Cowboys Abroad, who also, by the way, is currently the top spot on the weekly donation leaderboard by like 4 points, guys. So letting you know, it's a close race on the top spot there. Everybody's within, can take it. We're still going to be on for a little bit longer.
Oh, God.
Tripped up. So tripped up. Rogers tripped up by number 50.
He tripped over himself.
No, I think 50 got his foot.
Okay.
Yeah. The Rams linebacker got him, man. The Rams defense is for real, but they got scored on, and here, watch 50 get him here at the end. Tap.
Yeah, you're right.
Again,
him. That's the defense that never gives up. Although I gotta say,
yeah. So you saw the trip over himself.
The Rams uniforms are ugly.
That's old school.
Ugly.
That's the old school Rams.
They stick out, that's for sure. But
that's the old school Rams. So
ugly.
Right now, Green Bay has 127 yards on offense. The Rams have 38. We're red zoning it, guys. Watching the games, just relaxing. But we're always repping the star. And it just happens to be MCF day. You know what I mean, guys?
We're up in the MCF star today.
Yeah. So
the MCF star is
let's just hear some comments from you guys.
Yeah, here. Todd McGowan said Cowboys offense were snake bit by Travis Loss and Dak and wide receivers adjusting. So no, I think actually, you know what's funny? This cracked me up this morning, guys. I'm washing dishes. I'm listening to these NFL talking whatever people before in between the Eagles game. And they're talking about Derek Carr and how much losing his center hurt him and how the entire offense changed. You can't run this John Gruden offense with no center. The center's the heart of that team and everything. And they're saying so many things and giving Derek Carr so many excuses. Like, I'm sitting here mind blown, guys, just because I've never heard like that. And I just stop and say, but not one person will say shit about Dak losing Travis Frederick. Like, even us. Like, again, we got to give Joe Looney so much credit, but even we keep forgetting how critical and how key Travis Frederick is. I mean, and he's not just any center. Like, he is arguably, I'm being biased, the number one center in this league.
Top
number
three?
one center in this league.
For sure, top three. You can't give him less than that.
No, I say number one because he's a Cowboy.
No. I'm just saying worst case for people that way you want to hate on him.
Exactly, guys. So that to me is I just found that really surprising, really just kind of, I guess, a Twilight Zone moment, just because, again, it was just a solid 2-3 minutes of them explaining how Derek Carr is suffering and losing so much because he was crying, like all these things. And it just, again, we don't get that same kind of thought or consideration when it comes to, the analysts or when it comes to people seeing this team. I think part of that is because we do have problems outside of just like, we're missing this player. Yeah, I think it was definitely NFL Network or so. Yeah, I think it was NFL Network, was it?
I don't know. I see another.
You know what? No, I think it was Fox. I think it was Fox.
I see another touchdown for the Oakland Raiders though, without Amari Cooper.
So
I think they missed the extra point, or not. I'm not sure if they did or not, but it's 13-10, maybe 14-10 after the extra point. But either way. Yeah. I
don't know. Let me know what you guys think, though, as far as, again, I guess just a general perception of when things happen to other teams or, it is taken one way, but when they happen to us as Cowboys, again, I keep going back to that Washington game with all the penalties. Usually when fans say, we got too many penalties or they missed a bunch of flags, it's, there's a little bit of that fan part of you that just want, you want calls to go your way. But there was also just clearly like, wow, they're just really not calling that. They're really missing that. They're really not going to do that. Just saying, I want to see it go both ways, okay? If you're telling me that a third-year quarterback, who's already suffering under Jason Garrett's coaching and suffering under Linehan's play calls, you're telling me missing Travis Frederick isn't going to do S to that? You're telling me that line? Honestly, I'm just blown away and proud by the way our line has performed with all those problems. Yes, I deserve a Garrett clap.
Yeah, you do.
Done.
Keep going.
Sorry,
they
guys.
They like the rant.
You can't do dishes and listen to people say that and then not take it personal and stick up for your quarterback. You got to, again, Dak... we call him on his mistakes. We call him on the things that he definitely needs to do. We're not sitting here and making excuses for Dak either, although some of you guys might feel that way. Can't help it. You just see, we see it in a more big picture kind of way. So let me catch up with you guys in the chat here. Let me see. Yeah, Boomer Sooner said, put Dak in Kansas City, a real coaching and talent, he'll be different. Exactly.
That scares me.
Exactly. So
Mahomes has 26 touchdowns, as I said,
Octavia
guys.
said he's rushing the majority of his passes if you pay attention to the games. And then that's where, again, we got to look at Dak, where, the line definitely has performance problems, but Dak himself naturally just rushes through his reads and just doesn't quite take the time.
Give him time. Doesn't anticipate where they're going to be. That's the biggest issue with him, I think, is the anticipation factor of where they're going to be. Even though sometimes he does catch it. When he knows they're going to be 100% wide open, you see it leave with confidence. You see him leave his hand with confidence. But when he has any kind of doubt, he looks the other way to the next guy. Any doubt, and that's you can't do that all the time. You got to be, you got to do a better job.
And again,
Dak has to get better.
I think that is one of those things that I'm hoping does improve with age. I'm just saying that looks horrible. I'm sorry, but I am hoping that's one of the things that improves with age. Whereas age, time, and experience does a lot to make men better. So Dak, hopefully with age and experience, take more time. He'll just naturally figure out. Yes, take a second, Dak. Look through your reads. Look to find your guy that's
Octavia
open.
says he's got to settle down.
Trust your receivers.
Yeah.
So
he's got to settle down.
John, Guitar Slinging said Romo was magic once we gave him a run game with DeMarco Murray. Romo would have lit it up with Zeke in the backfield. That goes without saying. We thought magic was going to happen with Romo and Zeke and the line in 2016. None of us thought that Dak would be the guy.
What happened?
We all, Fiance literally almost had a heart attack the day that Romo got hurt that way. Actual chest pains happened here, guys. I just couldn't believe it. So Forever DC said, it's like when creating these sports talk shows, they're looking for mouths to hate the Cowboys. It seems to be a prerequisite. I know. Todd McGowan said, Looney is good, but Frederick is great. No disrespect to Looney. Looney's doing very good. And
I agree 100% with that comment.
That's why we can't
All credit
get
to
mad
Looney
at
for what he's doing.
You can't get upset at Connor Williams for playing the way he's playing right now. You're putting a rookie in a very difficult position and in a completely different situation. We all thought Connor Williams would have Tyron Smith and Travis Frederick, and he doesn't have that. So his progression is naturally going to be slowed down a bit.
And guys, it was
Brian Bradford, true boomer with ESPN. They're obviously just very, very anti-Cowboys. But you know what? We keep, the networks rolling. We still get the most views. We still get the most talk. We're still in everybody's mouth.
Polarized.
Again, our Amari Cooper move was all over everything, including regular news. The Giants are having a buy one, get one free sale on half their staff, half their players.
Yeah, Eli Apple.
And no one even gives a crap. So, Hello Newman with the $2 Maher.
Thank you, brother.
Go Cowboys. Nice channel, MCF. Thank you, Hello Newman. Appreciate the support.
Sir. He's part
Appreciate
of
again, all Cowboys Nation, guys. That's what it's about. It's there it is. You're repping the star. You're repping this team. Stay true to this team. At the end, every single Cowboy fan, regardless of what you think is the right or wrong move or whatever you feel, we all just want the Cowboys to get number 6.
Number 6.
That's the goal,
what
guys.
This is
that's
about.
what Cowboys Nation's about. So
I'm going to be crying here on this team.
Yeah, they run out of topics. That's why they talk about us, Boomer. Exactly. It's easy to talk about the Cowboys all the time. Jerry Jones makes it easy for him.
And we really literally are having a relaxing kind of chill, live stream, just relaxing.
Oh, the 49ers got a safety. Huh.
Yeah, we were just relaxing. Green Bay just hit a field goal too. It's 10-0 over the Rams. Doesn't get the sack. They're almost out of field goal range. But yeah, this is all about. It's not about hate on each other, especially. It's not about dissing other teams necessarily. Yeah, it's about trying to logically look at things and try to see what's the best for the Cowboys with some realistic twist to it, obviously. But we are homers, we are Cowboy fans. We're gonna cheer the Cowboys the rest of our lives.
We're not gonna sit here and lie about that either. If you are a fan of a team, you'll always be a little bit biased. You should be, because if not, you're not a real fan. I don't know. That's the way that I see it. But again, my opinion does not mean that everyone else has to see things the way I see it. So, let me see. I want to catch up with some comments here. Yeah, Octavius. Let me see. Guitar Slinging said, agree, Looney's pulling his weight, but our line without Frederick is our defense used to be without Sean Lee. Now, honestly, I would know, because our defense couldn't do anything without Sean Lee for a very long time. It took a long time, a lot of scheming, and Jalen Smith and now LVE to get our defense to a point where not having Sean Lee doesn't mean an instant loss and doesn't mean instant death and doesn't mean just a hot mess everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I see Tom McGowan's in the house.
And Todd McGowan said Monday Night Football beat the Titans.
We're going to see him, number 19 out there, Amari Cooper, and I got to see him.
We don't want to remember the Titans. We want to beat the Titans.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see him out there running the routes using that 4.42. And some people say in college he was 4.3 something. So using that 4.42 speed, that route running ability. Let's see it in action by Linehan. Better get his head out his, and get him used in our offense where it's going to create the defense to roll to his side. They're going to have to roll. I've seen defenses roll to Amari Cooper's side with the Raiders with a lot less weapons. And they roll to his side because they have to respect him because they're targeting him.
And that's why I think even if Linehan does nothing new, yes, our offense will improve just because of because Amari Cooper, just like Dez, would draw more defense to him or just have an extra guy, an extra eye, an extra step towards him because he's that number one threat.
And that's what you
Amari
need.
Cooper will be seen that same way. And here's the thing, too. Teams will be very conflicted because you cover Amari Cooper, you're leaving open Dak's current number one, Cole Beasley, which we saw. The second you leave him open, Dak will find a way to get on the ball. Shit, at this point, you could cover him in the middle and Dak will still find a way to get on the ball.
Gunslinger saying the right thing. I mean, receiver screens. Bubble screens with receivers, that's great. You can use that and move them down the field.
Should be tattooed on Linehan's forehead.
Well, yeah. But RPOs, play action. Use play action and use Amari Cooper and try to hit him in a mid-range kind of shot, like a simple. Just get him somewhere in that area. Like you tell him to get into this area in between those defensive players, he will do it just with his route running. You make sure your other guys are running places to get guys out a little bit and help them, and let him do the rest and find the open spot. And Dak just get accurate. Get the time from the offensive line and get accurate. And you do those things, we got ourselves a team that can move the ball. Then I'm optimistic. MCF,
exactly. So
but I am always optimistic. I think we can do it, but I got to see it from the coaching. The coaches are the ones that got to do
That's
it.
the key.
It's not on Cooper.
They're the ones that have
it's
to
not on
show
Dak
us.
in the sense of I got to see the route running and the utilization of his route running and speed skill. I see that. I think everything else will work. I think defenses will roll out automatically. Will after the play starts, he'll roll to his side. Not every time, but a lot of times. Beasley underneath going the other way. Gallup on the other side. Zeke on the run. Dak on the run. Whatever it may be. You can go dump it off to Rico. Whatever.
Exactly. So for every DC, I guess my question to you is, if you wanted Williams as a backup for like the next year or two, just kind of working on his thing, who would you have rather seen back in there
I'm
as
assuming
our left guard?
Fleming moving in and then moving Collins to the guard.
I mean, that sounds
That's
like
the only other
logical
option.
thing. Now, I'm going to say it. I know
Xavier
I'm not
Stewart.
sure what he's up to now, but I always said, why don't we bring back Jonathan Cooper? Yeah, I mean, because but apparently Connor Williams is supposedly doing better than him. He's supposedly doing better than him. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't like Cooper for this specific zone blocking they were doing. Like maybe that's something he's just really struggled with, and they just knew right off the bat, if this is what our line is going to look like and this is what we're going to do and he's going to suck at it, we're not even going to bother with him.
Barn burner, by the way, guys. Arizona up 3-2 against San Francisco.
I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, or what you guys would have wanted to see in there, because I still think that at that time and where we were at, I still think maybe bringing back Jonathan Cooper would have been the better choice. But I also don't like moving backwards.
I always liked
Bryce
Cooper.
Butler. I don't like moving backwards on players. If you cut them or they go, it's for a reason, and that reason was probably valid.
I think Cooper is going to show his weaknesses without Travis Frederick on the right of him, and with Tyron Smith. I think Cooper. I think Connor Williams is better in there than Cooper. Honestly, we just to have him there for the experience.
The way I see it, even that's where I got to say it. Where I don't remember who it was. Someone said in the chat
he's equal
here.
To him right now.
Jamal, you said it, that you'd rather have Connor Williams in there now just to get the experience and just to just to get him more ready.
Well, again, if you bring in a guy who is like unbelievably better, then I understand it. Then I understand working. But if you bring in Jonathan Cooper, you bring in Byron Bell, Chaz Green, whatever it may be. I'm just
John Lindsay said Lyle Collins at guard and Fleming at tackle.
And that's what I said. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. That's the other option. But you guys saw Fleming he didn't look that good. As a starter.
Again, I have a love-hate relationship with the Cowboys moving players from their natural positions.
And that's the other
thing. Again, sometimes it works. Most of the time it doesn't.
And Zeke does need to
9 out of 10 times you just end up with a player
15 carries not going to do it.
Who now can't play either position 100% because you don't want to put him here and have him go backwards in one and then put him here and go backwards in the other.
Like Byron Jones, right?
And instead of being 100% at one, he's kind of like 80%
So like Byron Jones, but when you put in a coach that knows what the hell he's doing.
Who can help coach him up, again,
and help know what's going on. when you know how to coach, when you get a coach that knows it, then you look at the difference in Byron
Jones.
Jones.
It's a little unfair for Byron Jones because the only year he played safety was as a rookie. So he went through his rookie growing pains, learning as a safety, and then they decided to change it up and we're back to
Isaiah Hill, yeah. I mean, the word on Frederick is no
updates from the last thing.
He's out 8 weeks no matter what, but I personally say this. He hasn't even started working out. Once he's okay to work out, it's going to take him months to be ready. He's not playing this year. Let's hope sometime in 2019, early 2019, he can get to the point where he can work out.
Yeah, guys, you
really work out on a consistent basis.
Make sure, sounds corny, but hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, just because that Travis Frederick stuff is going to be off-season info. We're probably going to be getting updates throughout the off-season. Some of that voluntary stuff that we usually do see the linemen doing. Is Frederick going to be involved? I don't know, but that's a good precursor and a good indicator of where we can expect him to be at. And even then, he'll still be at the Star. He'll probably still be doing interviews, things like that.
And on top of that, also
letting us know, hey,
the moves that the Cowboys make around that will tell us where he's at, too. If the Cowboys pick up a good center, that means that Travis Frederick probably is not going to be ready.
Or I don't know what Looney's contract or situation and stuff looks like, but if we see Looney, we see us re-sign Looney for some big money. Man. Honestly, at this point, the Cowboys might, what do the Cowboys do? Because if you're still not sure about Travis Frederick, do you let Looney go? Do you let him walk? I don't think you do. Like, you don't, there's not even any center out there who's even at Joe Neely's level would still have to have the learning curve of learning our system and our style and our whatever.
For the most part.
I'd rather keep Looney and pay him a little bit more just to not have to go through that.
And he's a reliable backup eventually.
We can't afford to have our line get
He can play guard, too, in other positions,
If you're going to overpay someone on this line, let it be Joe Looney.
Also, one other thing that people don't talk about too much, when we go jumbo package, he's the guy we go to. He's the guy that we go to jumbo. Now we don't have that big guy to go to anymore. Looney would be a versatile guy, even if he's not starting, even if he's a backup to Travis Frederick, and he's a good, so Looney would be a guy probably now. I would never said this last year. I'll be real, but he's probably a guy worth paying the money for when his contract time comes to keep him for a while as a perennial backup / power guy that can come in there at guard or center and help us out. Now, look, last year when he came in at guard, he didn't look like him. He knew what the hell he was doing. Yeah. So I guess on Thanksgiving against the Chargers, he looked out of place, but he didn't look like he was coached up, ready for it.
Isaiah, right now, right now, Looney's definitely playing better than Connor Williams for sure. Hello Newman said we could lose Tyron Lee and Travis to retirement this offseason. So I'm gonna toss it out there. What if Tyron Smith decides to retire next year? What if Sean Lee decides to retire as well? I'm gonna say it. Sean Lee, before that retirement ink is dry on that whatever retirement papers he's signing, you better give that man a coaching contract. You better pay him just to sit there and watch your team.
Well, put him in there as your linebackers coach, along with Chris Richard. You know what I'm saying? As the defensive coordinator. Exactly. And maybe even Sean Lee becomes automatically the passing game coordinator to an extent.
If you want to get a guy who hasn't technically earned anything,
maybe he's the run game coordinator, Sean Lee. With Marinelli out, because, he kind of, as a linebacker, you dictate what's going on.
Who takes over Richard's, if Richard goes up, who takes over Richard's spot?
Which is what, defensive coordinator?
Yeah, so.
Oh, you got other.
And they gave him that other job too, pass.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, Chris Richard's still the pass coordinator.
Okay.
Because he's the defensive coordinator, but maybe you leave the specialty of stopping the run to Sean Lee, as the linebackers coach. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he's like the
honestly.
Next in command.
They could easily find a
Richard could be the defensive coordinator and head coach too. I mean, he can do that.
So the only guy I don't see retiring, I don't think Tyron Smith will retire. I do think he will, hopefully, he better have surgery in the offseason. He was supposed to have surgery this offseason, and that, at least there were rumors he was going to, and then obviously he never did. I agree with what some of you guys have been saying here in the chat, that he just looks stiff, that he looks like something's up with his back, like he's in pain, something's going on. I think that's the more likely thing, since we do know Tyron Smith has back problems and back issues. So, if he needs to have surgery or something in the offseason to keep himself going, or just for his general health level. But I think Tyron Smith is not at the point where he's not ready to retire. Tyron Smith wants to be out there playing football.
Yeah.
Like, if he can physically stand up on two legs and use his two arms and go out there and block, he's going to do it. So,
I think the only way Sean Lee does it is if he's actually, like you said, he's in pain, and the Cowboys going to give him a coaching job.
I see Sean Lee retiring. If he gets hurt one more time this season, and it's going to be that stupid hamstring, and it's going to be that same leg, I see him possibly choosing to retire, Just because, again, I think DJ Crown J was the one who said it, guys. Fifth quarter Cowboys, sum it up. He was the one who said that Sean Lee was told about his leg issue that it's not going to get better. It's only going to progressively get worse. And again, I don't remember the exact thing, so I don't want to speak for DJ either, but I know he said something similar to that Sean Lee was told that basically his health issues when it comes to that leg or that hamstring or that whatever, like, it's only going to keep happening and keep getting worse.
It's not going to improve anymore.
And the fact that it keeps happening to the same hamstring and it's the same leg and it's not like 1, 2, 3 times, it's a consistent issue. If Sean Lee has another hamstring problem like this, and honestly, even if he doesn't retire, I love Sean Lee, but if he comes back next year and he can only play 2-3 games before he gets hurt again?
I'm going to read some comments now. Nodak says they won't retire. D-Town says that, D-Town XG says that, Text G says Sean Lee might have the highest football IQ of any defensive player in the league. Very true.
That man has a football brain unlike any other. I love him.
Forever DC says absolutely Sean Lee is a coach. Crawford said he's still always stopping things that are out of whack during practice like a coach would. So respected. Hello Newman says Marinelli is a great defensive line coach. Antoine Woods was a journeyman until Rod coached him up, and so was last year that little fire tank with arms. He kind of got hurt. What was his name last year? He was playing basically. He's our Antoine Woods last year, but he had to retire.
The guy with the knee is Paya?
Yes, Stephen Paya.
There we go.
So, yes, like Stephen Paya, I mean, Marinelli, he was nothing. He wasn't making the team. He coached them up. So I agree with you on that, but Marinelli won't be here next year. Not because he sucks.
No,
because
his time has come.
Exactly. He was going to retire this year, and he stayed on board. So he's going to be gone.
And defensively, the biggest complaint we've ever had about Marinelli is we don't understand why he's like afraid of press coverage or something.
Overall, as a defense, he doesn't do the press coverage as much, which is why he went out and told the Cowboys organization to go get someone like Chris Richard, who's going to be more aggressive in the passing defense.
Again, Marinelli is self-aware enough to see where he is lacking or where he could do better.
So we agreed,
and
Newman.
Find someone.
What happens next year when he's not there?
And that's my fear. So again, can they carry it on? Can they keep it going?
That's a good
again,
question.
not Richard, because I don't think Richard's going to be the one making decisions for his staff. But again, whoever is in charge of finding the coaching staff here, can they find a coaching staff that complements what we're assuming Richard likes to do, and what this defense can do? Obviously we'll see. So again, Michael Lucas said that's why they drafted LVE. So
and Tyron Smith says Tyron Smith, 27?
Exactly, Ori.
Yeah,
so he's
27
young.
years old, right?
I don't see Tyron Smith hanging up his cleats unless he's absolutely forced to. Exactly. That's why I think that if he needs to have a surgery or something, like, he'll do whatever he needs to do.
Gunslinger and slide. Yeah, go ahead.
The clock is ticking on Tyron Smith, and the time to look for his replacement is now.
Yeah, Gunslinger and Zombie Killer says Sean Lee will be a head coach in his league someday. He says Lee looked like a heat-seeking missile when he blew up Alex Smith, keeping him from getting that. And he basically stopped. That whole drive was him.
Was all Sean Lee.
That whole drive, that stopping drive there to get the ball back, to give us a chance to tie it, and then the coaches fucked us at the end. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things in there. Brian Bradford talked about Cleveland Cavaliers. They fired their head coach after 6 games, because there's no LeBron James. You suffer sometimes, and you don't have the players as well. So, but that's not Garrett's problem.
Again,
that's not Linehan's problem.
We have the opposite problem. We have talented players that do just enough to keep these coaches still in the running, not because the coaches did something amazing, but because the players went out there and showed off a little more.
Yeah, Forever DC says, I still wonder if Tyron Smith is going to take
Ross is another player that's been coached up.
That's true. That's just a lot of names you're throwing out there, and these are the defensive inside guys. And again, who do you think found David Irving? I'm pretty sure it was Marinelli. Probably went out and saw him in there in Kansas City if he was there.
Right?
We do not.
Thank goodness.
Unless it's in the playoffs. But I'm saying Forever DC says, I wonder if Tyron Smith is taking his eyes off his job to keep it on Connor Williams, or told to do this. Things happen in a split second, and the offensive line could that be slowing him down? I think that could be slowing him down. I think that's just natural, whether he's being told to or not. I think it's happening. But also could be some of this. Some people are saying it's attributed to the new offensive line coach and the new changes in schemes and technique. So we'll see if this continues. They're saying that hand. It's a push. I don't know. It's like a right hand up, a left hand, something. Yeah. There's a certain combination they're using that's different. And even though the Cowboys look like they mastered it, maybe they're not used to it with that and the leg work. Because Tyron Smith seems to be off his legs.
I imagine it's not, because again, Tyron Smith's been doing it a certain way for a while. for anyone, trying to learn new things, if you're in the habit of doing it one way, it's going to take a while. And on top of that, I almost feel bad for Paul Alexander. He thought he was going to go in there and do what he was doing with Travis Frederick. Yeah. No Travis Frederick. So
fake pump by the Rams. Just saying.
I know, but
good call there.
You missed it.
No, it's coming. But I'm saying I'm just saying.
No, they're about to show it on Red Zone though.
I know.
Skip
I know.
right over it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So
I didn't want to see it anyway.
We're gonna see the fake. I just wanted to see the.
Here it is.
Wow, just a pure pass. Boom. Nice play.
Hey, we did it once with the Punisher.
Yeah, but he took it himself.
Chris Jones against the Raiders. It wasn't our coaching staff who had the balls to make that decision. No, it took Chris Jones to be a real man and make that decision. So, again, our players outplaying our coaches.
That's the way we win, unfortunately. That says that, imagine, Rams going deep.
Yeah. Todd McGowan said, I like what Sanjay Lal said the other day. I don't like the number one receiver label. He mentioned Julio Jones, OBJ, Green, and Hopkins as being receivers quarterbacks can go to frequently. So, I mean, he doesn't like it, but the problem is that every team has one. You know what I mean? That label is given not because a guy is actually like the top wide receiver. It's just who's the guy that your quarterback likes to go to the most, because again, he's the guy you got to watch the most. If the ball goes here 20 times, you want to be there 20 times.
And if the ball's going to, if we're talking about who we talking about here? If we talk about Amari Cooper, guys, the defense is going to start rolling out. What happens? Beasley's open, Gallup's open, even Hearns is open. Imagine we get Tavon back. Tavon's open. Who else is open? Zeke out of the backfield's open. Who else can run the ball better?
Exactly.
Zeke. So. Who else can run the ball better? Dak. Who can throw the ball better with more options? Dak. And again, and all of this also helps the offensive line, because that means that they're playing back a little bit because they're preparing for the pass, and they're rolling to that one side, so we can prepare a little better. At the same time, in the end, it also helps. Who else? The defense.
Yep.
So.
And Cowboy fan, exactly. He said, even in the bye week we lose. The REFskins, and the She-Girls both win.
What did I say? I said that's the way we lose this week.
Said that.
I said that's the only way we lose this week. If the Eagles win, the Redskins win, and splat to our face.
Oh no! Thank you guys again. Thank you guys for hanging out with us here as we talk.
Yeah, because we
Dallas
are
Cowboys.
Just about wrapping it up, guys. A little bit here, 10 minutes or so. But we are going to say this. Looking above, I want to make sure, because today's the last day of the Nation Weekly winner, and we're going to announce it at the end of the stream. But yes, right now, and you can see who's winning. Cowboys are broad in first place by LT's on this board too, but he's a silent partner. But we got Scorpio in second place. Art 87, I think, is in third. Literally, guys, they're like 4 behind and 6 behind. And then who's after that? I guess Young Wilson, who's 10 behind. And then a lot drop after that. But, guys, thank you all top for helping out. And, again, it looks like Cowboys Abroad reclaiming Donation Weekly winner.
That's right. So Cowboys Abroad. No, Amari Cooper.
Oh, yeah, Amari
claiming
Cooper.
It because Amari Cooper is going to go into this week.
Yeah, as the Showtime guy.
Making a statement. So he wants to be the stream boss.
Is that another fake?
He wants to be the Donation Weekly winner.
Another fake?
He wants to be the number one.
Second fake, guys.
Oh, there's a flag.
Yeah, because
it looks like
they took the penalty on purpose.
Down now.
Oh, do they? No, because it looks like they took the penalty to punt it.
That he drops the first down. So, no doubt. So Forever DC said, Sanjay said the number one label means you have to force the ball to that person. So,
well, you got to force targets, I think. But creative routes.
But again, not because he's that number one receiver. It makes sense though. It's not like I necessarily disagree when he's your number one wide receiver because he's the best receiver on your team, the one who makes the best plays, the one who can make the most plays for you.
Right.
It makes sense to try to get the ball to him as much as possible.
I agree.
So you can't really put that too much on Linehan, because they definitely tried. Whatever it is, it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
Routes, scheme, Dak. I don't care what it was that was the problem. It just clearly was not working, and you can't force it.
And guys, I see here Cowboy fans saying it. We see Jason Garrett at the World Series clapping, and I
all
think
those claps. We need the clappers.
We saw the intro, guys. See
Give
the
me the
intro
clapper.
in the top right corner. You see him there with his new buddy. I forgot his name is. He's a car racer or country singer. He was at the Cowboys. I forgot what his name is.
Now as soon as you said it, I recognize him and his face, but I don't know his name.
But if you see Garrett,
I'm gonna say Luke because there's a lot of
something
country
Luke
guys
something.
named Luke.
But see Garrett right there, and here's a action shot of Garrett at the game.
All right. I'm just clapping.
Ah, yes, guys. Exactly. Or Giddy said for a first round pick, they better force the ball to him again. Exactly. When you have, it's
Screen.
you gotta, you know, you use that number one guy because you're counting on him to do it the best and do it the most, but not because you're doing it just
forever
because
saying,
of the label.
Correct, but not force it.
label.
You don't force it. You target him to smart targets. You got to get the ball and create. You got to create space with your routes, and sometimes you got to throw it to him when he's open. And even if it's a tough pass, even though if it's and to move the defense, setting them up for later. I can't do crap like that on Madden. I get too crazy. I get carrot controls, as people have said in the past. You guys saw it, but
I say isn't that your new nickname?
yeah, it's my new nickname on Madden is carrot control because I get carroty with it. I get cute. And I throw interceptions. And I do bad things. I put my quarterback in bad situations. I put my team in bad situations. Even though we did kick ass the last one I was on, and you guys helped me through it. We keep in tune for some of those fun streams coming too as well,
sure,
guys. Because you guys definitely helped me out getting better.
For DC, I mean, it's not that he can't go to a baseball game, like we said. It's more the optics of him going to such a publicly, nationally televised game when a team is in the situation that it's at.
Right.
And,
we criticize, Rico and Beasley for doing their rap stuff, right? On their off time. We criticize Zeke, deservingly so, getting criticized, looking bad when he's got these allegations and the NFL looking at him and he's suspended and in limbo.
He's out partying,
and he's out there partying, getting caught.
He's at a St. Patrick's Day parade pulling down a woman's top.
Right. Those things are optics. Even though maybe he's not breaking the law, he's not doing anything horribly wrong. It looks bad on him, and unfortunately for Garrett as a coach, of course it looks bad if he's caught drunk driving or something like that. That's beyond optics. You get fired right there. But on this situation, and again, you say why not for players? Because it's different. It is different. It's a salary cap situation with coaches. It's just getting fired, and you can and I'm sure in their contract it's written, so that if they get caught something like that, if they're out. But someone like Garrett going to a game, you can do it, and he wants to do it. He loves baseball, and he should do it. Like we say about Beasley rapping and Rico rapping and doing their things, and Zeke partying. He should be allowed to do that. Nobody's saying they shouldn't be doing this on their free time, but the optics on this is not good. When you're the Cowboys, you don't do things. You gotta be smart. You just can't do it. Dak as a quarterback knows he can't be seen doing dumb stuff sometimes. He does it, and he gets criticized for it. And the same thing, Garrett got to get criticized for it, for just being on at the game here, clapping it up and drinking a beer and checking his watch. And I know it's all legal and it's all fine. But the team is 3-4, and Jimmy Johnson, even though Jimmy Johnson made, and we read his quote, Jimmy Johnson's quote, even though we might not like it, says, quote, "I think it sends the wrong message not only to the fans but to the players. At 3-4, there's work to be done." Even though, yes, we know that it's 3-4, and you're not going to be working 24/7. The optics of this is not good. And what Jimmy Johnson is saying, even though Jimmy Johnson's taking vacations and he didn't win Super Bowls, in the beginning, but he was upgrading this team. The team was going on the up. It wasn't going, except that first year, it was going on up. And
he also wasn't publicly rubbing it in their face either. I think the fact that this is a freaking World Series game.
Right, and Jimmy Johnson, I don't think, would be caught at a World Series game after a 1-15 season. I just don't see. I think he'd know better. He'd say, "I don't deserve to be at this game," with the way I coached last year. And he wasn't. I don't think he was. Now, he would take vacations with his own wife and his family. Everybody should do that. We're not saying they shouldn't. But it's about being, like Fiance said, and I know today it's a lot more public and everything, but this is not about Twitter or about YouTube. This is about TV. He's behind the umpire. He's behind first play. I mean, right there. Wherever he is, he's right there front and center. It's just, if we were 6-1, different situation. Go ahead, have a beer. The optics don't look that bad. But when you're 3-4, and you're having your coaching being called out for 8 years straight, it's time to buck up and get your red head off the fucking screen. You know what I mean? So, anyways, what's up, y'all? What's up, Fifth Quarter Cowboys? Hopefully everything is going well. We had a bye week, not only in the Cowboys nation and for our Cowboys team, but also on the roundtable. We all had a bye week. So we'll be back, of course, the whole crew, guys. Sub up to Fifth Quarter Cowboys. Much love to you, man. Thank you for being here. And sub up to the rest of the guys. Space Cowboys 17, Dallas Cowboy Football News, and the Power, Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980. So no days off for the carrot, says No Dak. I agree. I'm sorry, but that's JJ. But that from JJ is ridiculous, says Forever DC. Brian Barrett said Garrett should be making a game plan for Tennessee. And no matter even if he should be allowed this free time, it looks bad. Just like it looks bad when Rico does what he does. Like it looks bad when Beasley does what he does. And the other guys we talked about, which we know look horrible when Zeke's being investigated for whatever. And he's on the chopping block here from the NFL, and he's out there doing the dumb things he did. So, it's just word. It's wise words. It's really all it is. It's just
Squirt
logical
guns,
words.
Water guns, anyone?
Yeah, exactly. That kind of dumb stuff is where they're watching you. Even though we're saying it's not a big deal, and we know it's not a big deal. We all know it's not a big deal, but it looks bad as the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, and I call it Earth's team.
Forever DC, we care about optics because Jerry Jones, every shit he takes is about optics. I'm just saying, look, he didn't talk to the media. He swears up and down, I didn't want to let the Amari Cooper thing out of the bag. I'm not going to talk to the media when we lose and look like idiots because I can't handle the heat.
He says he can't keep a secret.
His excuse is he can't keep a secret. But my point is that when we want to look good and we want to take the time to look real good, the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, everyone and their mom, oh boy, we really go all out. We look real good. Look how good the Cowboys look.
And again,
but when we are doing bad, we fail to hold them accountable to that same standard
right.
of look what they're doing now. And, there's nothing wrong with him watching a baseball game. There's nothing wrong with him being at the World Series. But again, as a player, like Jimmy Johnson
as fans, but also players to see that there's no urgency with this coaching staff. There's no urgency, and again, it's the optics that makes it look bad on our team, which should be actually a direct effect, not just because people are saying this or that. I don't care about that.
Jason Garrett laying on a sunny beach somewhere. I don't think I would care as much, but you're telling me that in a televised World Series baseball game, like the baseball game, like a freaking historic baseball game that broke all the records.
And the thing is that like sometimes that people like Beasley and Rico shouldn't get criticized. Garrett shouldn't be criticized either. But at the same time, when you're 3-4, unfortunately, no matter how you twist it up, and I personally didn't see a problem with it initially because it's just him sitting at a game. It's just him like sitting there having a night off. Every human being has a night off.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with it.
Exactly.
I agree that it looks bad.
Exactly. It's kind of like the situation with Cooper. I don't have a problem with Cooper on the team, but we're going to use him right. I have a problem with that part of the deal. Giving away a first round pick.
I don't have a problem with Cooper, but I think we overpaid him.
We overpaid. That's a fact. Every analyst says we overpaid right now for him. But even if we didn't overpay, are we going to use him right? And so it has to be like a second part to this. So with Jason Garrett, it's got to be. You can't just go out there and say, if it was Jimmy Johnson, I don't think he would have went out there with the way that they were looking. And it's just the Jimmy Johnson mindset. It's not there anymore with this team.
Exactly. For everybody to see, our number one star running back is the one who's going out and pulling women's tops down. And same for him as Garrett. If you're gonna do dumb things like that, just stay home. But Garrett does dumb things while he's with the Cowboys, so he needs to stay home like all the time. Let me see. Tom McGowan said, yes, agreed. Hopefully Cooper's positive impact will be threaded through every aspect of the Cowboys team. I
hope so.
Simply, Dak has to get the ball to Amari. Amari has to catch it.
And the line has to block.
After the carry is important too.
Listen, the line has to block. The coaches have to coach. Allow him to be used in routes that are to his strength. And if we do those things, the line block and the routes are right for Cooper, then Dak has to do the rest. It's on Dak. Because the coaches did their thing, and Cooper has to catch the ball. But, the coaches did their thing, and the Lions doing their thing, then he's got to do his thing. That's it. So, yeah, fifth quarter Cowboys.
He said he would have talked if we'd won. Linehan said he didn't talk after the Seahawks game because he wanted to watch the tape first.
Jesus.
What a joke. And that's what I'm trying to say. When you lose, you don't leave your players high and dry to talk to the media and give excuse, and force that. Because, again, if the players have to do it. And honestly, again, give a lot of credit to our Cowboy players who go up there day in and day out and face those losses. And they don't, we don't hear too many of the bullshit excuses. Honestly, we just hear the same things over and over. And I don't get mad at the players. When they mess up, they usually go into detail. Okay, this is why I made this mistake.
Yeah, and
or whatever.
Dak says there's no discipline.
Take the responsibility
there's no discipline
themselves.
in Dallas. That's very true. That's the coaching. That's coaching. Because the discipline is the coaching. You can't just
exactly. Cowboy fan. That's kind of the point. There you go. You said it. It makes it seem like he doesn't care, and it shows the players you can do whatever you want, whether you succeed or not. So I mean, honestly,
wait,
how many Giants the Jason Garrett? How many Giants fans again? 2007, Tony Romo decides to go to Mexico. looks bad, right?
With Witten, too.
Especially in hindsight, now
And
that we
Bobby
know that
Carpenter.
they freaking lost. The Giants decided to go to Miami.
And again, that's
in
what,
hindsight,
guys, here's the thing.
It looks bad because
And
they lost and
won,
they blew it.
They've won like 2 games since then.
Exactly.
But here's what's or 4 games. Like 4 games I think they've won in 2 years since that picture was taken. But the thing I'm trying to say since that trip is that Tony Romo himself said that was the worst decision he made in his life. And when it came to football, it was the worst decision was going on that trip. And that's the thing, guys, is that optics, yes, they don't matter. In reality, they shouldn't matter. But unfortunately, what it did to Romo and what it did to him for losing when he lost from that, like you said, if you win, nobody even talks about it.
Zeke was suspended 4 games for optics. Keep that in mind because
That
there
is
was
true.
there was no evidence, guys. No real
very
hard
good
evidence.
point right there.
Zeke faced all this bullshit because of optics, because it looked
Optics do
bad
matter,
for him, because
unfortunately.
he made decisions that made him look bad.
Yeah.
Looks matter. Perception matters.
Unfortunately, it shouldn't.
We don't want it to matter,
It shouldn't,
but it does.
But it does, and that's what hurts the Cowboys sometimes, and it hurts. And the front office don't care because it creates controversy. It creates people money. It keeps people
Peace
watching.
out, DJ. We'll
people
catch you
watching.
next time.
DJ, peace. Sub up to fifth quarter Cowboys
Actually,
guys.
we're basically gonna wrap it
At
up.
the
here.
halftime of this game, we're gonna at the halftime of Red Zone here, which is the halftime of the Rams game. It's 10-0 Packers. But Goff and the Rams are driving with about 4 minutes or so left, I think, or is it 2-minute warning? I don't know. Peace out, fifth
So
quarter.
there's about 3 minutes left.
Yeah,
so.
Vicente Garcia
Now-
says move Collins. We talked about that earlier, and it might, we just talked about the moving the pieces so much. It's so annoying because we move so much, but it might be what's needed to get this team turned around. I don't know. Dak is also always facing the heat from Brian Bradford saying it.
Well, Michael Lucas, again,
He's
like
talking-
I said, for the
he's
mistakes
facing the
that Dak
cameras,
has
right.
made for himself, he absolutely should face them. But the problem is when the coaches leave Dak high and dry to answer for their mistakes. When the coaches leave their
partially their
quarterback
mistakes.
out there to say, why did you guys decide to not go for it on 4th down?
Yeah.
Well, it was a decision the team felt was the
So,
right move to make. The players shouldn't be the ones saying that. It's the coach who decided to not go for it on 4th and down.
But unfortunately,
It's just- you know what I
unfortunately,
mean?
Zeke's situation, it was all, like you said, optics, that he was kind of suspended for because of a woman lying, and all her claims were discredited, and yet the NFL thought it was still worthy enough for the optics. So for the Cowboys, it's for the shield, and that's their choice. They
Again.
can do it. It's still wrong, and that's why it bothers. And I can understand that nobody's getting suspended in this situation.
Yes, suspend Jason Garrett for 6 games.
But whoever-
Unnecessary sportsman. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Just get him off the field.
Forever DC says going to Mexico is totally different than going to a baseball game, and absolutely, I don't think the players are thinking they can do what they want just because Jason Garrett went to a baseball game. And I agree with the fact that doing what they want. I guess it's maybe too harsh of a term, doing what they want, but more of the fact that if the coach is being seen out there relaxing, and even though they know I'll be honest, I think their coach, they know that he's like this already. It's not a secret. This is not a big deal because they know he's not. If it was Jimmy Johnson, I don't think he'd be out there doing it. And if they saw him out there doing it, it would affect the coach. It would affect the players in a bad way because they know Garrett is the kind of guy that doesn't.
So let me put it this way, guys.
They're used to it.
Someone
They're
just said
used to
here,
it.
who said it though? If we lose to Tennessee, it'll be bad for Garrett. Brian Bradford. So if we lose next week, after the big Amari Cooper hype, after all this stuff, after Jason Garrett was
They're gonna look
seen
at the
out
beer
there,
and
they're
the
gonna look
clapping
at
at
it
the
and
game.
they're gonna call it out and say that's why we
Sucks.
lost.
It sucks.
Realistically, no, that's probably not why we lost.
Right.
It probably has jack all to do with why we lost,
But-
but it looks bad.
and
We're
it
not
sucks.
saying we agree with it.
Yeah,
We
it sucks
agree
because
that it looks
but
bad.
what is
we
it? But
don't-
who matters? Who
like-
cares? Who cares, right? It doesn't matter, right? It's just but then who gets the questions and who gets the heat? The coaches. I'm not saying the coaches, but Garrett, which is good. But at the same time, who suffers in turn? The players also suffer for that. Some of them are playing.
Us, we really suffer
The
because we're
fans.
fans here. We can't do
just
anything
sucks.
about any of it except watch the game. And
Everyone's
yell
saying
at our
suspend the
TVs.
carrot. Look, we understand. Like I said before, initially it's not really that big. What a punt by Hecker, man! My
He
goodness.
violated the league conduct
The one-
policy, aggressive clapping.
Wow, man. I mean, that's crazy.
We're not going to be prepared after the bye week, said Boomer Sooner.
Listen.
In that sense, I'm actually less concerned because, again, I know Dak's staying behind to work with Amari Cooper. Amari
punt.
Cooper's meeting with Sanjay Lal, off in the Bay Area. This is probably one of the few times where, it seems like the Cowboys are kind of staying close to home in the bye week and actually, working and just kind of chilling and stuff. Honestly, I hope they do take the time to relax and, reset themselves. Last year we saw a big change in momentum. After the bye week, and we actually kind of had a shot, and then we blew we lost that momentum we had, that strong out the gate.
And I understand what Forever DC is saying. I just wish that they just have to answer more questions.
It should be crap.
It just answer more questions. It can be more of a diversion. And again, we tell our players, and we the coaches say, keep out of trouble. Don't go in the limelight. Don't do that. And then, whatever the reason may be, whether they're doing good, bad, or ugly, and yet, and then the coaches do it, and it just sucks in that sense. But in all in all, it should not make a difference. You know what I mean? It should not make a difference.
Cowboy fan, we'll do you one better.
What?
We have our very own clapper right here, guys. You don't have to go watch a commercial to clap on, clap off for just the low price of one MCF stream. You get your clapper right here. He can clap. He can clap again. And best of all, he can clap 3 times.
Yeah, well, that's what it looks like when he claps.
One more time for the clappers in the back. Oh, there we go. There you go, guys.
Keep clapping.
Brian Bradford said if we lose to Tennessee, fire Garrett immediately.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think what is going to happen is a safety for the Rams. Crazy, or not? 2 safeties in the late games, guys. That's crazy.
Yeah, actually, 2 safeties today. That's right.
In
the
late
Niners
games,
had one.
yeah.
And their score, actually, weirdest score ever, guys. It's 5-3.
5-3. What's that? Oh, it's 5-2-3.
No, 5-3. Whatever. Oh, whatever. So
Niners are winning 5-3 over the.
Guys, that is our friend who looks astonishingly like Jason Garrett. So so there you go. He was nice enough to do us a favor of doing the Garrett clap, so that we could share it with you all here. So we can Garrett clap as one Cowboy Nation, right? You know what? Maybe that's what's missing, guys. If every Cowboy fan claps together unanimously, nothing will happen. So
maybe he'll hear us.
Time wasting carrots. So, man, guys, it's again we've talked in great depth and great detail about lots of different things about our Cowboys. If you guys watched us here, hung out with us for this Red Zone Chillback stream, thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. Make sure to hit the like button if you like what you're watching. If you don't like what you're watching, hit the dislike. That's fine. Subscribe, though. Guys, subscribe. That's the #1 way
daily
to make
live
sure you
streams,
don't miss
guys.
what's
Daily
going on
videos.
in Cowboy Nation. Here at MCF, we got our roundtables, our weekly roundtable discussions. We took a break week, roundtable next week, guys, with the crew. The links for all of them are in the description down below, guys. Yes. Go subscribe to them. Again, here every day with the news, the updates, the info.
Do not forget that Amari Cooper is the stream boss, but that is Cowboys Abroad. You got to sub up to his channel, guys. Cowboys Abroad and his wife, Yumi, thank you. It looks like they're going to pull out a very close win this week down here and take over the Donation Weekly winner. But thank you and Yumi and Amari Cooper for kicking off this next week with the number 19. You know what I'm saying?
And then again, hopefully on a high note, guys, rolling into this bye week, seeing some good practice from our players, or coming off of this bye week, seeing some good practice from our players, seeing Amari Cooper get worked in there.
Yep.
Everyone stays healthy.
Dak and him getting the same page.
Game.
And that offensive line blocking. Lenahan route running, right? Running him right on the routes for Cooper. And those things happen. Dak just got to throw accurately. And we've seen him do it. We know he can do it. So if he does those things, he has time, and he can do it, and the routes are right for Cooper especially, then we should see this Cowboy team, make a run at the playoffs for the top spot of the division. You never know. I guess if they make an all-around run and there's another team that makes a run, then maybe wild card if need be. But, right now we're looking at the division as our biggest, only chance right now to try to, get that. Right now with the Redskins at 5, what are they, 5-2? 5-2, and we're 3-4. So we're like a game and a half behind. Plus they have tiebreaker. It's like 2 games.
Yeah, and Michael Lucas. Yeah,
we play them one more time.
Fiance and I, again, I said this earlier in the stream. We truly think that the Jason Garrett and right now Linehan, yes, are some of the foundational problems this team has, and that they will never get better until that problem is fixed. It's not about forever blaming the coaches. It's about, in the end, all roads lead back to the same thing.
You've seen you've seen it back in the early days with Garrett, with the carrot, and you've seen it with Romo and Dez and Witten and DeMarcus Ware. You've seen us crap out. You've seen us be 8-8. You've seen this happen with our own eyes, with Garrett at the helm, with this talent. Then you see them as they got better, still going and not being able to get it done. We had to have a perfect season with minor injuries here and there. Other than Sean Lee that one year in 2014 with the catch, Sean Lee was the only major injury. We had Hitchens step up as a rookie. And we had McClain still in there. So everything was pretty good that year. Everything was kind of working perfectly. Coaches didn't have to really coach too much. It was basically DeMarco Murray, Romo, and Dez on offense with Witten. And we got to the catch game. And you guys know what happened there. And then we had issues with Romo, getting worse at the back. And then we had issues, losing him for the year. Then we had issues losing, with Dez dropping the ball. When we then we got Dak. You saw what happened with Dak. And you guys know what happened, the rest of the story there. But again, at that point, we're seeing up and down, up and down, up and down, and mainly just an average coach when it comes to Jason Garrett. And that's the what he's shown us. That's his resume. All right, he hasn't shown us that he's consistently a winner as a coach, or can do the right thing at coaching.
There's no other coach except for the coach for the Bengals,
right,
that has been this unsuccessful this long on a team and still had a job.
Right, and that's not a good thing. Is the point. Right, so.
And again, it is what it is, guys. Again, we are hopeful still, always hopeful that the Cowboys can do more than what they've done so far. We are hopeful that the Cowboys can win and beat the Tennessee Titans, not this coming up Monday, tomorrow, but 8 days from now, Monday. November 5th.
That's going to be a big one. And also, we have a short week then to rebound against the Eagles. So that's going to be, and they have a long week.
And Michael Lucas, 100%. But players failing to execute still happens less. Again, if a player drops the ball on a bad route, is it the player's fault, or is it the coach's fault for designing that bad route?
Well, if he drops it depends.
Again, it's technically both. If a route, I'm just saying, like in the sense of if it's a badly designed route and play, players have to execute no matter what. But you're telling me the coach isn't somewhat responsible for just constantly calling bad plays over and over again?
So if it hits the receiver's hands, it's not a bad. It should be caught. Number one. Now, if it hits the receiver's hand and it's 5 yards before the first down, because it was, and the receiver ran the route right, then that's on the coach. All right? If he dropping it, not dropping it, doesn't matter. If he's dropping it and he's 5 yards short and he's going to get hit and tackled and that's on the coach. I don't care how good the route is run. I don't care if he caught it or didn't catch it.
Hey, Romo, remember when he had one simple job to hold the ball? Remember? And he slipped and he dropped in the Seattle, right? So that's player execution, 100%.
Correct. Yeah.
So does that mean that like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, coaches can't help it when a player does something like that. But
if a player runs a route short of a first down and he catches it, it's on the player. If the player is told to run it 5 yards short and then try to get it, I think it's a fumble. If the player, I'm sorry, it looks like
that's on Dak. If Dak overthrows someone, sorry, I'm reading the comment. If Dak overthrows someone, it's on Dak.
Dropping, and again, I agree with Forever DC that, and I disagree with you, baby. That dropping the ball, I don't care if it's a bad route or a good route. Dropping the ball is all on execution. Throwing the ball by Dak inaccurately is you can't say 100% on execution, because then who's not executing? Somewhere it broke down because offensive line must have let someone through to either hit Dak, or Dak is just throwing a bad pass. So that's execution. But when it becomes coaching, is that the coaches don't try to help where there's a weak spot in the team. They don't adjust. They don't. They see a Chaz Green situation, right, and they don't help Dak Prescott from throwing the ball inaccurately. They don't help Dak Prescott, giving him more protection in the pocket. They don't help Dak Prescott.
Tony Romo was working at McDonald's. What are you talking about, kidder?
So, coaching is running route. Like if you run Cooper on a comeback route,
what was the flag?
and you run him on a post route, and you run him on a go route, and you run him on an out route, and you have a slant route, and you have 5 or 6 routes for him, and they're simple routes, like the way that the Cowboys run them. I'm telling you right now.
I don't know how many ways you can say that the foundational problem of this team is coaching.
That would be a coaching issue, not a Amari Cooper issue. You got me? So if we use Amari Cooper, the way you got to watch some film of Amari Cooper and the way he runs his routes, you got to get him to a certain part of the field, and then you just tell him you get there using this route or that route. Maybe they gotta let him do it himself. I don't know, but Nussmeier, someone made a point earlier. Nussmeier is a guy who is going to,
like use Cooper correctly, or
try to tell
Linehan
help Linehan use Cooper correctly, because he used to coach him back there in Alabama when he was a player there, along with Julio and other guys that were back there in Alabama. Ridley, he knows of these guys, so he's gonna hopefully help
Brian.
Linehan.
That's execution, because again, if it goes to the hole, the receiver should have caught the ball. So he said, "What the ball bounces off someone's hands and gets intercepted." So I'm assuming it's a receiver.
Right, but
hands are.
But here's my problem with some of those plays, and I agree. In the end, it's execution. But I look sometimes back farther. Now, when you're saying about the receiver, it depends.
Here, like Michael said, it's for the coaches for putting them in that
Correct.
situation. That's the thing. It's the receiver, if it hits your ball, I don't care if you're upside down. I don't care. Like, you catch the ball, if it's sent your way or
but
hits
if he
your
puts
hands
you 5 yards behind the sticks, it's on the coaches.
How do you expect a player to succeed if you're putting him at a disadvantage?
And also,
from the get-go?
another thing is this: if you're telling Dak to not run from the pocket, you might be hindering Dak. That looks like what some of the things that it looks like they're doing.
He feels forced and trapped into doing.
And if they're telling him to throw from the pocket, that's on the coaches there more than let Dak be Dak is what I want to see. And so when I see if they use 5 routes for Cooper, it's on the coaches. If they use 5 creative routes for Cooper, then it's on Dak if he gets the time. But Dak has to be accurate. The line has to block, and the Cooper and the routes on the offense has to be creative. Yeah. And those things happen, we're going to win a lot of games.
Well,
not just now,
said
but
8
in the future.
seasons, 3 winning seasons. At some point, the coaches have to be to blame. Everyone talks about what Romo was. So was it him or Garrett on some of those years?
Right. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Whether you could like Romo, then why were we losing? You could hate Romo, but then why were we losing? You know what I mean? Why were we winning when we had Romo in 2014? Was it the coaches that made Romo great that one year? I don't think so. I'm talking about. I know we had it with Wade Phillips before Garrett, but I'm talking about the recent one, the recent good year we had with Garrett.
Yeah, and Brian said all Dak's interceptions this year bounced off his receivers' hands. Yes, and we all remember at least 3 interceptions that should have been intercepted, weren't intercepted, were dropped. Like I don't remember which game it was. I want to say week 2, week 3.
A lot of games
but
last year as well.
Literally, like the guy had it. Like we saw the whole thing happen.
Dez knocked the ball out of some of the hands last year that would have been interceptions. So some of them were on Dez, some of them were on T. Will, some of them were on Dak. And some of them were saved and helped because of the receivers, and meaning Dez is one of them. So, there's a lot of different things we can sit here and talk about. Look, the whole point is here. Dak's ball placement is not very good. Accuracy is not good, but also he's getting pressured. So those are the foundational issues that are creating issues in the running game, creating issues in the passing game. Now we have a number 1. Is that going to help? Not if those issues are not corrected.
Exactly.
And if Dak is going to be given if the receiving cores are going to be given vanilla routes by Linehan, predictable route running by Linehan, doesn't matter how good Cooper is at running routes. Doesn't matter how inaccurate.
I don't see anything change.
I mean, Dak's going to be accurate, and we're going to still fall short. He's going to be accurate, and he's going to still be 5 yards short of the first down because of the situation, because of the lack of discipline, because there's a penalty of a hold by the lineman. That's execution. But sometimes when you're allowing it over and over again throughout your career of coaching, that is a discipline thing. And I think that you have to always look at that too. You got to look at the body of work.
No, and again, we got to, Dak, for all the great makeup, plays that he does to save a play, to stop, that Washington one was like a stab right through the heart.
Yeah, and Dak's got to get rid of the ball.
Points.
Dak has to get rid of the ball.
That's on Dak.
And a lot of this stuff is on Dak. And again, I'm just saying.
So, but I guess here
we're giving Dak a weapon. Is that going to help Dak?
Part of the problem with Dak, again, we got to rewind. We got to go back to before we ever even drafted him. Right on his drafting, this is a player that needs to be coached up. The thing with Dak is he has all these problems. Either he is not the guy because he's just not the guy. Right. But I think he's also maybe not the guy, or there's rumors or talk about this just because he hasn't been coached up properly. I think that better coaching, we would see a different Dak Prescott. Dak is who he is now because of the coaches around him.
Without question, we've agreed with that 100,000%. The coaches around him, building him to what he's built to now. His rookie season is just an untapped Dak. Then you see what the coaches molded him into, and you see what happened within a year and a half from being a rookie to the Chaz Green incident. You saw what happened after that. The next year, you see what happened. Since last year, it's a year today, I think, or so, the Chaz Green incident, and you see the jump from that to this, the decline in Dak, and what the coaches didn't build him up. It seems like it was based on just rookie greatness than it was on the building up by the coaches. The coaches built him wrong. But now it's too late. Unless we get good coaches in there, it's going to be the same kind of situation if the situation is Dak. So you guys are saying in here, for sure I don't know if they're telling him to hold the ball or not, Michael. I want to make sure I make that clear. I get that feeling when he sees open field in the past 2 years. He used to run. This year, he's purposely, I'm talking about from game 1 to game 7. From week 1 to week 7, he looks like he's holding himself back. Now, if it's him, it's on Dak. If it's the coaches saying, stay in that pocket, it's the coaches. Got to let Dak be Dak. And I'm just saying, I don't care whose fault it is. It's got to happen. Brian Bradford says all Dak's interceptions bounce off receivers. Lucas says, what about Dak's fumbles? That's a problem. Dax cannot fumble. That's complete execution. That fourth and one that we went for it and Dak got the first down and then fumbled it? That's execution. That was a ballsy coach call by the coach. You can watch back what I said. I said you can't blame the coaches. Coaches went for it and we got it and Dak fumbled it. That was Dak execution. So we gotta be specific. It's just not when we lose a game. It's not because of one person only. It's not just because Dak's fumble gets washed in the end there. He got us back to a place to tie the game, and the coaches game managed that wrong. They had 52 seconds on the Redskins 47 and one timeout. There is no way in hell you should be settling for a 47-yard field goal. No way in hell. And that's on coaches. So I know what a catch by Gurley, no Dak. That was a great catch there. Forever DC's unfortunately Dak's fumble helped lose the game, and that is true. He helped lose that game, but the coaches also helped lose that game. So Vicente says big plays take time to develop. Dak needs time to throw. No Dak says what a catch by Gurley. Michael Luke says foundational issues because defense's game plan takes Zeke out of the game and put Dak in bad situations. That's another thing too, and our coaches don't adjust well to that. They don't adjust. They don't put Dak in good situations. They put him in almost his weaker situations, and then they say, okay, now Dak win it. It's like, and then he tries to win it, and then he comes back, even though he's had a bad game. Even though he was a lot more accurate than usual, but he still was off. He still was holding the ball too long. He was fumbling it. So it's killer, guys. Kellen Moore is the best quarterback coach ever. You should go. Yes, please go to Tom Brady, please. Lucas says defense has got tape on Dak. Nothing to do with coaching messing him up. That's another part of it, too. They do have him on tape, and yet he tears a team apart like Jacksonville in the air. So DC says this is what JJ and Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones will be looking with Lenahan. Will he bring the best out of Cooper or the same thing keep going? Referendum. Exactly. And that's why I said, I think I said it back a couple of days ago. I said how he helps us, how Amari Cooper helps us now and for the future is that. Right there where you said forever DC. It's what Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones want. They want closure one way or the other on Dak and Garrett and Lenahan. They want to get him. They want to. I think they already have closure on Lenahan, but it's really on the whole direction they're going. And really, it's led by Garrett. Garrett's the one leading the way. Dak is his guy. All right, Garrett made the choice to make him the guy, taking Romo, his best buddy, JJ's best buddy, away as a coach. He said, "I'm trusting you, Garrett," and now you see where we're at. So better for worse. That's where we're at. I don't think Romo would have made it this far. He would have been destroyed he might have been in an ambulance after Atlanta. But I think Romo would have also shifted some unlike Lenahan, unlike Garrett, Romo would have shifted some blocking on the left side
Romo he would have gone for the end zone with 52 seconds left and one timeout.
Romo, back to last year in Atlanta, a year ago, basically, guys, he saw Chaz Green breaking down. The coaches didn't adjust. Romo would have adjusted. He still would have got killed eventually, but he would have adjusted. He would have got a
2
chip.
points, no good.
He would have got a chip block over there. He would have kept knocking and banging away at helping out Chaz Green rather and not lose the game. That game would have been 17-7 and then what's his name? Nugent.
Mike Nugent?
Mike Nugent last year missed a field goal, would have made it 17-10 in the late in the third. And that's without Romo, let's say, adjusting to the Chaz Green issue. That is coaching, and that is when you have a great quarterback who's allowed, who was there before the coordinator and who already made his mark before the coordinator, like Tony Romo. What he can do, and what he's allowed to do, and what he just naturally can do better after that much 10 years of experience, compared to Dak Prescott, who has 1 year of experience, and is not allowed to do that in the middle of his second year. Or doesn't know how to do it in the middle of the second year, or coaches are not doing it for him like they should in his second year. And that's where it's coaching, guys. I'm just trying to make the point. Coaches are failing this team, and in turn, the players are failing the team. The fans, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you can't go for the touchdown if you have no confidence in your offense, and that speaks volumes. How do you expect this team to get, even have a winning season if you don't trust your offense when it comes down to that moment, in that minute? So, and anyone else, lots of 2-point attempts, I guess just overall, I feel like this year, like a lot of teams are just going for it more on two.
Yeah, I know.
2 there back-to-back, 1 no good
earlier today
by the Rams just now, like 10 seconds ago, and then 1 good by the Colts. So they're just tied 21-21.
You guys are all making great points. And it is Sunday football, guys, but it is the third quarter, and we have to get going, man. We said 2 hours. We said an hour and a half, 2 hours. That was 2.5 hours.
As always.
Much love, and especially to was it Hello Newman?
Yes, Hello Newman with
Thank
the
you.
$2 maher.
Right
so
there.
you know what? You want to talk about one of Garrett's guys, one of the coaching moves? There you go, Garrett. Full credit. You saw Brett Maher, you said that's our guy, and he's our guy. So, just saying, there's one of Garrett's guys that is working out. One of the moves, one of the things they saw. They got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. You know, we're going to have...
Speaking of credit, again, Cowboys Abroad, Amari Cooper, thank you so much, man. Looks like you are going to be the new Donation Weekly
Ready
winner.
to stream, boss.
Extra special shout out to Scorpio, our current Donation Weekly winner,
Thank you.
wrapping it up for this week. Thank you so much, man. And to everyone else who helped support MCF, rocking
Hello,
it
Newman
out here
today.
with us. Whether
But
you guys are in the
the whole
chat,
crew, guys,
on
yes.
the leaderboard,
Yes.
in the comments section, subscribing,
We
liking,
appreciate it,
watching
trust me.
all of it, guys. Thank you
Trust
so
us,
much.
we appreciate not only the appreciation donations, but also, you know, we also appreciate, you know, the chat.
Yes,
you know,
guys,
the
these
back and forth
discussions, yeah.
discussion. This is important stuff, guys, and we want to hear what you think. That's why we're doing this. We want to, you know, we also, you know, it's an evolving thing. It's an ever-changing thing. You just can't. You're an idiot. You are a complete idiot. If you're any fan out there that sits there and says, I'm going to be this way and this is the way it's going to be, you're just basically Scott Linehan. You're being a stubborn idiot. You know, you and again, I'm not saying nobody here is like that, but I'm just saying that there's people out there sometimes they just want you to, that you got to be this way or else you're not a fan or you're not
you're not a real fan.
Yeah, or you're not being, you're switching sides.
Yeah, the only person who's not a real fan is exactly the bandwagons.
Right.
If you rep the Cowboys star and then next week you're repping someone else, stay with that other team. We don't want you.
Yeah. Go buy your Mahomes jersey and then stay with it. And that's cool, man. Then enjoy it. Enjoy your
Exactly.
Chiefs or your Broncos or whatever teams you like out there. I know there's a lot of AFC fans, NFC fans. We know one guy who jumped from the Cowboys to the Falcons. I mean, you know, what can you say? They're out there. They're all out there. They're creeping and crawling. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, guys? Anyways, they're all out there creeping and crawling. Sorry, I have to scratch myself there. So, my eyebrow was getting itchy there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
too many issues on offense to just blame
For sure.
Dak. Cowboy fan, exactly. Dak is part of the issues here, too. Not going to sit here and pretend he's not, but it is what it is when it comes to the other things. Again, I have true belief that our Cowboys can pull through, beat the Titans. Let's see what happens after that. Because, again, there's just too many things going on our team right now for us to really confidently say more than just what we can see for this next week. Because with the addition of Amari Cooper, things do change. So let's see
he's
how
new.
much they change.
He's new. He's got to get coached up. He's got 2 weeks, full weeks to get up to speed with Dak and stinking Lenny Hand. And once he gets caught up, we'll see if Lenny Hand can then hopefully get him on his patented, fantastic route running and use him to his abilities, to his route running skills. We do that, there's positivity here. And I think against Tennessee, going in the future, and as the offensive line gets better, hopefully on the road to get better,
Yes.
I think you'll see us getting
different.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm just saying
something different.
Well, I'm just saying that Tennessee and beyond, I think that we have to see. I think for this team as a whole, we have to. Cooper is going to open things up for us if used properly. That's just the fact. I think if used properly, he'll be a fantastic. He already is going to be a fantastic addition. I just don't want the coaches to be holding him back. That's my fear. I think he's going to do his thing. I know he's going to do his thing. I just got to hope that the coaches are going to allow him to do his thing, and they're going to allow Dak to get time to do his thing, and they're going to do whatever needs to be done on the road, especially to get this offensive line blocking properly, and then to get the sequence of
have
events
everything else fall into place
to go right. Yeah, and I think when that happens, I think we have a very bright future. But let's see what happens. We still got that carrot back
glasses,
there,
guys.
And again, when we talk about carrot, we're talking about
the clappers. So, with that said, MCF family, thank you for watching, guys.
Thank you guys for watching. Yes, probably can't hear us because you hear the clapping from the video. But yes, guys, thank you
so much for watching. Make sure, again, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we're live. And don't forget why, even on this bye week, guys, why are we here doing what we do? There's just one reason.
I think we all know. And even though it's MCF, guys, it is the star. It is the navy blue. It's the silver. All right? You got me? It's that beautiful star. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. You know the deal, guys. We want number 6. You want number 6. Guys, now and forever, never forget. As always, forever.
Number one thing, guys.
Go Cowboys! Woo! Come on, baby, forever. Let's do it, baby. Forever. That's what it's about, guys. Star over everything. So, we appreciate every single one of you guys. This is a bye week special. We'll be back tomorrow, Monday night, doing our thing here. going over whatever news is coming out. We're starting the Tennessee week now. We're ready. We got all the Washington stuff is ready. We got the enema. It's flushed out of the system. Washington-ish is out.
Your soul has been cleansed.
We've been cleansed. Now we're going to now we got to turn the page. Pushed it. We got Cooper now. We got to now. Let's see what we can do, guys. Now we got to look at Tennessee, and we got to go from there. We got to beat Tennessee.
Yes.
And then we got 4 really season-defining games ahead of us.
Yeah, guys. Real quick: Tracy Banks, Octavius, Brian Bradford, Forever DC, No Dak Ninja. We have Cowboys fan in the house. We had Michael Lucas, Vicente Garcia. Thank you for joining us here as well. We had DJ Crown J. I know we had Dallas Cowboy Football News in the house. We had D-Town, Tex G, Rand Alter, Buddy Johnson, Guitar Slinging, Zombie Killer, Boomer Sooner, Bobby J, The Big Balla. Thank you for joining us here as well. Let me see. Buddy Johnson, I said he. Jonathan Cook, thank you for joining us.
The house, yeah.
Let me see. And yeah, guys, that looks like about as far back as
Tom
we can go.
McGowan.
John Lindsay, thank you for joining
John
us.
Lindsay.
And guys,
shout out.
Thank you. Big shout outs to everyone watching.
Huge shout out for Hello Newman for his $2 Maher. Literally $2 Maher because the Maher is number 2. So there you go. Thank you. Down to 98 points for Amari Cooper. Cowboys are brought. Amari Cooper. That's 2 points there. Come on, let's rock it, baby. Let's do it. The champion this week. So thank you guys.
Yeah, again, shout outs to everyone here. If you're watching this afterwards, let us know what your thoughts are on everything
comments
we kind
below.
of discussed. Drop it in the comments below. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for our regular Monday Cowboys news info update stream. And guys, just like Jason Garrett and the whole Cowboys team dropped the deuce according to Fiance, we're going to drop the beat. Always talk about creative ways to get that in there, right?
Always trying to be always creative, right?
So again,
always
guys,
watching.
Always watching.
He knows.